live from Broman Field. Welcome to another night of high school football as the Blue Devils play host to the visiting Fauquier Falcons. Hello everyone, I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock. And Steve, the Blue Devils are currently 1-5 on the year. And they haven't won since the Monticello game. We called that game. Fauquier, on the other hand, is 3-3. And by the way, last week they defeated Kettle Run. I didn't realize this until just recently, but Fauquier's win over Kettle Run ended a 19-game losing streak to county football teams. So that was a huge win for Fauquier. It gave them a big lift. The question I have for you is, where does the big lift come for Culpeper, because they desperately need one?
Well, Mark, that's a good question. They're going to have to get a big lift from their offense tonight. They've got to find an offensive identity, and they sort of started to find one last week during the second half against James Wood. But they are going to have to find one. They're going to have to get JoJo Crenshaw. He had a decent game in the second half against James Wood last week. They're going to get Riley Harrison, Austin Lentz involved, and Cam Lacey, I believe, is the running back, getting him some more touches. But they've got to find an offensive identity, and they can beat Fauquier. I mean, Fauquier hasn't overwhelmed opponents, coming in, but they did get a big win against Kettle Run last week. So Fauquier's coming in on a high, where Culpeper, like I said, is trying to seek their identity.
Still trying to seek their identity, and they're past the midway mark in this season. Doesn't bode well for the team as we go into the second half of the season. But at the same time, I mean, things can change pretty soon if they find the right people, personnel in the right places, and if people start to play consistently. But here's the thing I think you'll also agree with too. Not only do they need to find their identity and get a lift, but they're also thinking that they're not in a situation where they can fall behind to a team then expect to come back. They fell behind to James Wood last week. They came back, but they came up too short. And I don't think they're in a position where they can come from behind football.
I agree with you, Mark. I was getting ready to say that too. They can't start out slow on these games. They've got to start out with a bang and try to get a big play to get their momentum and get their offense going. Coming from behind, as they've done for the last 3 games, is not going to help them. They dig themselves too big a hole in the beginning, and then they try to climb out of it. I think they need to come out, really aggressive with the football. Defensively, we know they're strong. They've done it. They've done very well defensively, but it's offensively where they need to come out tonight hard.
And they've tried different players there at quarterback, and this is part of what you mean by finding one's identity. The problem that these guys have had, the quarterbacks have thrown their share of interceptions, and I guess my question is it the quarterback off target, or are the receivers not on the same sheet of music with the quarterback? Is it a combination of both?
Combination of both, and inexperience, Mark. They don't have an experienced quarterback. They've got a talent in JoJo Crenshaw at 6'5", who's a very, a talent, but he's never played quarterback before. He's got a good arm, so that's been a problem. They lost their starting quarterback, Jake Plaster, to an infection, so they're really, like I said, they're working in with an inexperienced quarterback and trying to really get him indoctrinated to varsity football at his first year playing it. He's been being a basketball player, so that's where the problem is, and hopefully he did have a good game last week in the second half against James Wood. Hopefully that carries over to tonight against Fauquier.
Steve, these two teams have played each other a long time. It's been a long-standing series, but at the same time there have been breaks in those series games. Right. Looking at the series record, Fauquier leads at 24 wins, Culpeper has 17 wins, and there have been 2 ties. Now, over the course of our history, some of the most exciting games I think we've seen have been against Fauquier, whether it was Carter Mills kicking that winning field goal in the mud, or Jermaine Crop's 99-yard touchdown run. It seems like something big always happens when these two teams meet. I sort of think it's going to be a close game, but I think if Culpeper falls behind early, that Fauquier may get the best of them. How do you see tonight's game and the key matchup?
I see whoever gets the big plays is going to win tonight. I think really it's going to be key, big plays. I think Culpeper can play with Fauquier. It's a very winnable game for them. They got to play mistake-free football. They can't throw interceptions, and they got to watch out in the penalties. And then on defense, they just got to keep Deal and company in check. And if they can keep Fauquier's offense off the field, Culpeper can play either grind it out with their running attack or hit them with some big plays. I think Culpeper can come out with a win tonight.
All right, looking forward to calling the game with you as always, Steve, here at Broman Field. Tonight, it's a Northwestern District matchup between the Blue Devils and the visiting Fauquier Falcons. We will have all the exciting play-by-play action to bring you here tonight. After we take a break, come back for the coin toss between these two teams' captains to see how things will get rolling when we start here. All right, keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network because you're watching Blue Devils football. See you soon.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air. Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. CFC Farm and Home Center, hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best. Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike. Still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
Coach Ford, as everyone knows, this is his first year as the head coach of the Blue Devils, but he hasn't been able to be on the field because of an illness, and he's been in the hospital. He's been in recovery. He's been home recently. This is the first I've seen him, Steve, since August when I interviewed him for the first time for the preview of the season, and so to be able to see him now in person, it's good for him. It's good for his family. It's good for his friends. It's good for the people in Culpeper.
It's good for the team as well, too.
So they need a boost tonight. We were talking about that in our pregame show. Fauquier got one last week when they beat Kettle Run, and I only recently found out that they broke that 19-game losing streak to their county rivals, which would include Liberty and Kettle Run. But they get the win over Kettle Run last week, and then I was talking to you, Steve, about how the Blue Devils get a boost tonight. Maybe having Coach Ford in the house will give them some boost. You talk about trying to find this identity and getting the right players in position, and we're going to see their defense initially tonight, barring a return for touchdown. And when we talk about defense, one of the guys that really stands out to me has been Riley Harrison.
Sure has. Riley Harrison's been really carrying the team, Mark, offensively and defensively. They can't keep him off the field on both sides of the ball. He's that important to the team. I look for a big game for him tonight. But again, like I said on pregame, Culpeper's, I think, has got to come out tonight, establish themselves, establish an identity on offense, and see if they can, put some plays together and I think score first and really put the pressure on Fauquier.
Dave Barrows will kick off for the Blue Devils. Here is his kick, and we are underway at Roman Field. This one settling under it at about the 10-yard line is a return man here, out across the 20. And the Blue Devils run him down just shy of the 20-yard line. So a good special teams effort by Culpeper off the jump street there. And so, Steve, we'll see Fauquier's offense. Typically in the past, when you think about Fauquier, we think about a lot of misdirection. What's your scouting report, if any, on them as far as their offensive set this year?
Well, I mean, they're going to be more of a, traditional offense. I don't think you're going to see Deal try to do a lot of run-pass option plays. They're going to try to establish the running game. But what I was going to say, too, is this is really one of the first teams Culpeper all season really matches up well against.
Here's some shifting in the alignment, and they send three receivers out to the right. Deal, the quarterback, in the gun, going to keep it on a quarterback run, and he's going to pick up only a couple yards as the Blue Devil defense there, staying at home and waiting in those lanes and making a good tackle. Some of the guys have been really shining for Blue Devils this year. We mentioned Riley Harrison. How about Joseph Holland as that outside linebacker?
He's done a very good job. Mark DeJure McCray, number one at the cornerback's done a good job. At number 60, Bracken Hibbert's done a good job up front. Culpeper's done a good job defensively. It's just where offensively is where they've stumbled.
Okay, here is Deal. Here comes the pressure. And he's going to be blindsided and tackled for a loss at the 15-yard line. Ball loose, but they'll rule him down on the ground by contact. And so Deal goes down at the 15. He's going to lose 6 yards, and it's going to bring up third down at about 14.
And it's going to be number 8 that brought him down, Mark.
Reindorf with the sack.
And that's Ozzie Reindorf. And Reindorf's a name that's been mentioned a lot, as has DeJure McCray, two-way starter. Austin Lentz on defense as well. So on tackles, Riley Harrison leads the team with 65. Joe Holland has 36. And Harrison actually has 7 sacks this year as well. All right, here's third and long. Opportunity for this Blue Devil defense as Deal goes back to pass. Now he's going to keep it 25.
He's got a little bit of room, but not
Or
enough.
15 out across the 20, out close to the 25-yard line. He'll be shy of a first down by about 4 yards, and we'll see the Fauquier punting team. So Steve, for the defense, 3 and out.
That was a good play by the defense, Mark, limiting Fauquier to 3 plays and forcing a punt. But they've got to key on Deal because he's the engine that makes Fauquier go. And you're going to see already tonight that he's going to look to run the ball, but but they can't go to sleep because he will throw it.
So here on fourth down and 7, here's our first punt. Short kick. This one's going to bounce down. We'll call it a Blue Devil roll because it's going to go out of bounds about the 40-yard line. So Culpeper, Steve, on offense will start with excellent field position. And you mentioned just how critical it is for them to get off to a good start.
Yeah, it is, Mark. And I just think that just was going to bode well for their momentum and for their psyche if they can get in here and get a good drive going against this Fauquier defense. Again, if you look at Faulquier's defense, they're not very big. They're not going to overwhelm you with size. They're going to be quick, but Culpeper should be able to dominate the running game with their size up front.
Okay, so this is going to be Crenshaw back there as quarterback, and behind him it looks like number 23. That would be Austin Lentz. 2 receivers, one to the left, one to the right. Handoff. This is Lentz. And the initial hit made near the line of scrimmage. They may give Lentz a yard there. That'll bring up second down. And they'll say no gain. So 2nd and 10 here. Opening minutes of this first quarter. We are at Broman Field. Fauquier started on offense. They went 3 and out. Then the punt. Now Culpeper takes over. Good field position. They started this one at the 43. So it's 2nd down and 9 here. So we're talking about Crenshaw being in that backfield as the quarterback, and they've gone with different guys this season. Still, as you say, trying to find that identity. Let's see what Crenshaw and company draw up here as Fauquier shows pressure. Here's the option. Here's Lentz. Makes a cut, and they tackle him down at the just shy of the 45-yard line. Short gain, and now a 3rd and long coming up for the Blue Devils.
Right, and then again, it was not good blocking there on that part either, Mark, on that option play. But I still think you can get Fauquier because they're going to play in 1 man deep, number 3 in the safety. If you use a little bit of play action and send the 3 receivers and send one to the slot, going down the middle on the post, you might be able to hit them.
So here it is, 3rd and 9. A 1 yard gain on the last play. And Crenshaw back there in the gun and behind him is Austin Lentz. Fauquier shows pressure. They jump. Let's check. There's our first penalty flag of the game. And we certainly had our share of those in last Friday's broadcast. That was probably the thing that really marred that game.
Yeah, that marred Eastern View with all those penalties against them. But it looked like this is going to be Culpeper because they jumped first, according to the officials.
Pushes them back 5 yards to the 39. So rather than 3rd and 9, it's 3rd and 14.
And see, this is what I talked about in pregame, that Culpeper can't get in. They can't get into these long third and long situations. This does not help them.
We need a big play here to move the sticks. Here comes pressure again. Do they pick it up? Straight up the middle is Lentz. Nowhere to go. Fauquier there waiting for him. Wrap him up, sling him backwards, and now we're going to see the Blue Devil punting team. 7:52 here to play in this first quarter. We're scoreless so far. And this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And there's Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673.
And Mark, in that series, I think if Culpeper can go to a slant pass right there, when they're stacking the box like that, they should look at some slant patterns with those receivers and making loosen that defense up.
No, that punt was nearly blocked. You'd get it off.
Taken at about the 30-yard
And this
line
one
by number
taken
6.
on the run at the 35-yard line. Straight ahead he goes, and he gets into Culpeper territory as a return man there. And it is number 6. And number 6 tonight is Nick Shadiak. He usually wears jersey number 21. And he is Fauquier's leading ground gainer, so we expect to call his number frequently tonight in that offensive backfield.
Well, Mark, he's very quick right there. And that was kind of poor tackling on the Blue Devils on that punt team right there. They had him trapped back there, but Shadiak was able to escape. But let's see the defense, see if they can hold him right here.
Faulkier's second possession. This one starts excellent field position at the Blue Devil 44.
Right side. Blue Devils trying to string it out, and they do.
And here is the running back,
By the Blue
number
Devils
2,
defense.
Khalil Kiwa.
The captains Hoffman and McCray team up for the tackle.
And looks like they're going to stop him for a loss of 2 yards on the play. He's going to bring up second down and 12.
Well, Mark, I love the pursuit right there by the defense, and that's what the Blue Devil defense does. They swarm to that football, and they find it, and they get there quick. So, like I said, kudos to the Blue Devil defense. They're doing a good job.
Probably an important series with this Culpeper defense since Fauquier started at the Blue Devil 44. Here's the option to Khalil Kiwa, and a little second effort picks up a few yards for Fauquier. It is going to bring up a 3rd and long here. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 41-yard line. He picked up 5. They'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Faulkier's trying to get to the edge on that Blue Devil defense. Good tackling there by the Blue Devil defense. They kind of missed one in the backfield there, but again, limited to big yardage down. Big 3rd and 7 here play for the Blue Devils.
We're just past the midway mark in this first quarter. No score here at Broman Field. This is Faulquier's second possession of the night. And they're looking at a 3rd and 8 from the Blue Devil 42. All right, going back to pass, throw short. And Austin Lentz comes up and makes a big tackle in the open field against Khalil Kiwal. And that'll mean another punting situation for Fauquier. And this time, Steve, the Blue Devil defense did do a good job of stepping up at a critical time, because we talked about you cannot fall behind early. And Fauquier started at the Blue Devil 44. They had a short field to work with, and the Blue Devil defense did its job.
Well read by Austin Lentz. He was right there, and great tackle, good defense right there for the Blue Devils. And Mark, you said right. They cannot start deep in the hole and hope to claw their way back. Culpeper, I think, has got to get out in front first in order to win tonight.
All right, here is the punt. Austin Lentz is back there. He won't get a chance to return this one. It will take a Falcon roll, however, and they're going to down it inside the 9-yard line. That's where Culpeper will set up on offense for the second time here tonight. We're scoreless at Broman Field. 4:59 to play here in this first quarter. And this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. And UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136. Back on offense. Blue Devils have it, but they're deep in their territory. Dangerous position here. They keep it conservative. Straight ahead they go to the ball carrier. I believe that was number 9. It was Cam Lacey. Steve, you mentioned him in the pregame. They've got about 3 runners this year doing the bulk of the running between Riley Harrison, Austin Lentz, and Cam Lacey.
You're right. We haven't seen Harrison yet on the offensive side of the football, Mark. He's on the sidelines, and that kind of surprises me because I think he's the quickest back they have in order to get into the hole.
Lost a yard in the play. It's 2nd and 11 for the Blue Devils. Crenshaw, the quarterback. They got a receiver to the left and one to the right here on 2nd down. Will the protection hold up? They're throwing near side, incomplete. And the intended receiver was DeJure McCray. Out there in coverage, Nick Shadiak.
Well, McCray had that ball, but he kind of stopped on that route. I mean, it looked like, Crenshaw was throwing to the spot, but McCray needs to continue to finish that route off and see if he can make a play in that football.
Well, now still we have a 3rd and 11, so the Blue Devils have it at the 9-yard line, or 7 rather. And this is a critical point here because they need some space for their punting team if they have to go to punt. But they'd like to have a little breathing room, obviously. But you don't want to make a mistake down here either.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You don't want to make a mistake that costs your team 6 points.
All right, here's 3rd and 11. Crenshaw dropping back, now airing it out. He's got a receiver out there, but it was underthrown. As McCray was able to get away from the coverage of Shadyac, it was a good idea, but the pass was underthrown, and now the Blue Devils will have to punt, and Gabe Barros will be standing deep in his own end zone to kick this one away.
Well, that was a young quarterback right there, Mark. He's still throwing off on his back foot or his back feet backpedaling, and he doesn't have that arm strength to get it out there. He's got to step into that throw, and then he would have hit McCray right there wide open, and McCray would have had a touchdown.
Well, I mentioned Barros. He's actually the punter here is actually Joseph Holland. Barros handling the place kicking. This kick almost blocked as well. He is able to get it away. We're trying to find the football, and it's going to be down a short kick down near the 27-yard line. So Fauquier will send its offense onto the field tonight for the third time, and their field position is getting progressively better, Steve. They started their first series at their own 19, the second series at the Blue Devil 44, and now this one at the Blue Devil 26.
Well, this is where the defense has got to step up here, Mark. Fauquier's got excellent field position on, with almost that block punt. So Riley Harrison and company got to step it up here and limit Fauquier.
Here's the handoff to Shadyac coming near side. Blue Devils stringing it out, but Shadyac will pick up some yardage just shy of the 15. And we got a second penalty flag down. Now the first penalty was against the Blue Devils for 5 yards. Let's see who this one works against.
Let's see what the call is here by the official. Came in late.
Usually in the area of a
face mask.
Personal foul.
Ooh.
Wow, against Fauquier. How about that? I'll tell you, as they assess this one off, let me tell you, this broadcast is made possible by Able Heating and Air. Able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. All right, so see, they push it back to the 31-yard line. It's going to bring up first down in about 14.
And that was called on the running back, Shadyac, number 6, Mark. He was trying to stiff arm, but he grabbed the face mask of the Blue Devil player and pulled him down. You can't do that.
First and 15, rather. Line of scrimmage now, the Blue Devil 31. Fauquier has it. We got movement left side. That'll cost the Falcons 5 yards and push them back to the Culpeper 36. It'll make it first and 20.
Well, this is good for the Blue Devils because Fauquier started on the Culpeper 26.
Yeah, and they're moving now backwards to the 36. And the Blue Devil defense accepts. At the 36. It is. Second down. And 20. Here's Deal. Play action. Here comes the pressure. Steps up away from him. He's got Shadyac out there in the flat, and he's going to be dropped just shy of the 30-yard line. DeJure McCray comes up and makes the tackle for Culpeper.
And Mark, it was good pressure on Deal. And the Deal, the quarterback, he's smart. He's a senior. And he's been leading that Fauquier Falcon offense for the last 3 years. So he's a cool customer back there, but good pressure there by the defense. But now a big third down play here for the Blue Devils.
It's third down and 15. Falcons have it at the Blue Devil 31-yard line. Clock ticking, 2:55 to play here in the first quarter at Roman Field. Currently, we are scoreless. Here is Deal, stepping up. Gets away from one defender, a second defender, and then the third time around, the Blue Devils swarm to him and tackle him at the 35-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards. It's going to bring up 4th and 19. And, in the professional game, you might be thinking about a 52-yard field goal. I don't know if too many of these high school kickers have that sort of range or not.
They're not going to punt here, Mark. They're going to try to go for it here on 4th down because the punt doesn't really help.
No, I was thinking about a field goal, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be a 52-yard field goal attempt from here. There are some players out there who can hit it, but not a whole lot of high school players.
Not a whole lot of high school. But again, there, Culpeper's got to get better tackling right there. The Deal almost broke free from a couple tackles. They got to learn to wrap up.
Blue Devils showing pressure. Here they come. Deal rolls to the left. Going to air it out downfield. This one looks like it's caught after a Blue Devil defender looked like he got his hand on it, and then coming over and making the catch, staying right with it. Looks like number 13, Steven. I don't think I have him on the roster.
Yeah, but number 3 for Culpeper was defending, tipped it. It wasn't, he made a good play in the ball, but he tipped it right into the Fauquier receiver's hands. First down, big play for the.
Let's see if Peter Brewington has number 13 on the Fauquier roster, because Cameron Swift. because he was 3, right? No. Right, and he's okay. Here is Shadyak right here. Usually wears jersey number 21. He's 6 tonight. Tries to get to the outside, and the Blue Devils run it down and tackle him near the 10-yard line for no gain.
Armani Hoffman made a great play on the ball, Mark, with, defending on that play, but he got his hand on it and he went to tip it away, but he tipped it right into the receiver's hands. Now the defense has got to step up here.
Ball at the 8-yard line. It's second down and goal from there. Clock running, 1:10 to play here in the first quarter. So Fauquier knocking at the door, looking to become the first team to score here tonight. Here is second and goal from the 8. Deal, the quarterback. Shadyak, ball carrier, straight ahead. Got inside the 5-yard line. Going to bring up third and goal from about the 3. And this broadcast is made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mays at 829-9200. All right, here it is. 3rd and 3. Third and goal from the 3.
Big play here.
Deal under center. Shadyak, ball carrier, straight ahead, fights for the second effort, and looks like he's in for the touchdown from 3 yards out. So Fauquier strikes first. It's touchdown Falcons with 24.7 seconds to play here in this first quarter. And Steve, they did take advantage of excellent field position because remember this drive started at the Culpeper 26-yard line.
They did, Mark, but again, that Culpeper had him stopped, but it was a fluke play by Fauquier where they threw the ball and the ball was defended well by Culpeper, got tipped into the receiver's hands. So Culpeper's Fauquier's on top, 6-0.
All right, here's the point after. Kick is up and good. Falcons 7, Blue Devils nothing. 24.7 seconds to play here in this first quarter. And as you pointed out, the Blue Devils had a chance defensively and just wasn't able to complete the play. And the receiver did a nice job of staying with it. That was Cameron Swift to put the Falcons in striking distance.
Well, and Culpeper just got to keep their heads up. They're still in the game. It's only 7-0. And just get back on offense and just say, hey, to your offense, I would start telling your offensive line, you got to block up front, and let's get the running game going so the running game will open up the passing game for the Blue Devils.
Well, coming into tonight's game, we talked about the Blue Devils being 1-5. They opened the season against Eastern View and lost. Then they beat Monticello in a game that we called here 30-6. Then they lost to Spotsylvania, to Liberty, Hanley, and then last week to James Wood in a come-from-behind effort that came up short. So, tonight the stats look like this coming in. The Blue Devils have scored 78 points, but they've given up 172. So they're averaging 13 points a game offensively, but they're giving up 28.6 per game. Rushing, we mentioned Riley Harrison's the leading ball carrier, and he's also the leading tackler on defense. Let's see if the Blue Devils can put together a offensive push following this return. 30, 35, 40 is Lacey, and nice return. And the tackle there made by number 23, Giovante Hall. And had Hall not done so, he might still be off to the races.
Well, Mark, let's see if Culpeper can see if they can attack that Fauquier Falcon defense. Faukier's loading the box, so I would think a screen pass, a slant pass, maybe something, or trying to get a sweep or something, trying to get the offense going, because right now, like I said, Fauquier is really keen on the run, and they're really loading that box up.
Culpeper, good field position at its own 42. Fauquier shows pressure, backs off. They hand it off here to Austin Lentz. Good hard running for Lentz. He crosses midfield. Fauquier territory at the 49-yard line. It'll be a yard shy of a first down, a 9-yard pickup by Lentz.
And Mark, that was a good run by Austin Lentz right there. Got good blocking at the point of attack, and that's what they need to do, soften up that defense, and that'll open up that passing game.
You got it. Well, we got 9.3 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Time for a play or two before we move into the second quarter. Clock running here. This may be the last play of the quarter. This is Lentz looking for some running room. Can't find any as the Falcons converge there. And number 20 in on the tackle is Jaden Barlow. And the siren has signaled the end of the first quarter. So, and it's Falcons 7, Blue Devils nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back for the start of the second Keep it right here. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air. Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. CFC Farm and Home Center, hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best. Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. Start of the second quarter here at Broman Field. As we start this second quarter, Blue Devils have it at midfield, 3rd and 2. Movement up front, both sides. Steve, I believe the center out there right now is number 53 for Culpeper. Isn't that Buchanan? It is, Cameron Buchanan.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped. Well, he couldn't have been. He was the center. He didn't jump.
You know, the player from Fauquier coming over, and then let's see if they're going to. It looks like they're going to push it back. No, it's offsides against Fauquier. Well, it was 3rd and 2, so that'll give the Blue Devils a first down.
Yeah.
The 5-yard penalty result of the play is a first down for the Blue Devils.
All right, so Culpeper has it, the Fauquier 45, and we are just underway here in the second quarter with the Falcons leading 7-0. And Crenshaw, the quarterback back there for the Blue Devils, play action, throws it over the middle.
See right there.
Looks like this one is caught. Looks like it could be caught by number 3, and that is Armani Hoffman. Now, the Falcons said that no catch, but the officials disagreed. So how about Hoffman? How's he doing this year? We've got him with 13 catches for 188 yards, 14.5 yards per catch.
Mark, that pass is there all night long, too, because all you got to do is just a little play action. The way Fauquier's trying to run blitz right there, they can get them on that if they keep doing it.
All right, here's the option. Crenshaw going to keep it. Straight ahead he goes. And he'll have a first down. And I want to say these statistics I'm passing along to you are provided courtesy of Devin Payne. So we had Armani Hoffman coming in tonight's game with 13 catches. DeJure McCray second with 7 catches for 80 yards.
And we got injury on the field.
Let's see, where is the player?
Right there. I can't pick him up.
Oh, yes, one of the Blue Devils there being attended to.
It's like a lineman.
Yeah, we can't see his number for sure from here. All right, let's take a quick break. Give the guys up top a chance to take a break and maybe get those hands warm up there. It's sort of cold here tonight at Broman Field. We'll come back when the action resumes. The player who was shaken up was center Stuart Jones, and he went to the sidelines. Let's see who's going to replace him. Number 50 is the Crenshaw going downfield and intended for Armani Hoffman.
Yep.
Incomplete.
You see, JoJo's backing up. He's throwing off that back foot. When you go throw off that back pedal like that, you're going to sail that football, and the timing right there is not messes up the timing between him and Hoffman. If JoJo can just learn to relax a little bit and step into that throw, he would have Armani Hoffman as a touchdown every time.
All right, here is second down and 10 from the 32 of Fauquier for Culpeper. One receiver to the left, one to the right. Crenshaw back there. And he pitches it here. to, is this Riley Harrison, his first carry of the night? He was looking for some running room and simply wasn't any there. No, that's Cam Lacey, rather.
Yep.
So here's Riley Harrison, number 4, on the sidelines here. We haven't called his number from that running back position tonight yet.
Well, he's so valuable to the Blue Devils on defense, Mark, and he's probably, they don't want him to get him all banged up, running both ways, being a running back and playing linebacker. You're going to take a pounding. But
okay, 3rd and 11 now. Blue Devils with the clock running 10:25 to play. Second quarter action. Fauquier on top, 7-0.
I think a bubble screen would work here really well. It's these Fauquier. Look like they're really.
Well, they were showing pressure and backed off. Protection holds. Crenshaw throwing downfield. Had a receiver with a step out there, unable to connect with him. And looks like it was intended for Hoffman again. Now we'll have a 4th down from the Fauquier 33. So obviously, you go for it here. You wouldn't punt.
You wouldn't punt here. You go for it here. Punt's not going to give you anything, and I don't think the field goal would be 33-7 to be a 50-yarder mark. So.
Okay, so it's 4th and 11 from the 33. And let's see what Crenshaw dials up here. Looks like they're going to reset. And the Falcons make a shift or two on defense as well. They show pressure, then they back off. Here's Crenshaw throwing out there, and he throws it away. So is this a busted play, or what's going on out there?
Well, not only was it a busted play, but again, JoJo looked confused on that play, throwing out there. I don't know if the receivers were on the same page. But again, even at 4th down, you still got to take a shot down the field.
And they turn it over on downs, and so Fauquier back onto the field with its offense, leading 7-0. With 2:04 to play here in the second quarter. We know this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. James Deal, the quarterback. Fauquier on its own 33. Here's a pass out there. Caught. Nice hit. Made it the 40-yard line by
number 8.
That's Armani Hoffman. And the receiver, Steve, I believe was number 40, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Kyle.
Number 8.
Number 8 on the hit was Ozzie Reindorf.
Yeah.
The receiver, Kyle Dargis.
And I misspoke that Deal. I said he's a senior, Mark. He's only a junior. But he's been a quarterback with him the last 2 years. I think he started for a freshman.
2nd and 3. This is Shadyac, ball carrier. 1st down yardage and more. And Shadyac breaking tackles and having a hard time bringing him down. They finally do after he gets inside that Blue Devil 45-yard line. And
number 2 was the running back, Mark.
I thought it was number 6. Yeah, you're right. It was. Is it Khalil Kiwal?
Peter's a Kuwa? Well, how do you spell it? You don't know.
He was hurt last week, so I've seen him once.
It sounds similar to Kiwi.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to visit the concession stand.
Got down the 42-yard line. That's picked up a 17 yards and a 1st down. So here with the timeout on the field, I believe that acting head coach, assistant coach Brandon Oots, Steve, trying to get this defense aligned because you want to hold Fauquier here, not let them get a 2-touchdown lead on you.
No, you don't. And like I said in the pregame, Culpeper doesn't want to start out in the hole and have to climb their way back like they had to do against James Wood. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to cut down the mistakes on offense. And defense, they're doing okay. They're playing decent defense, but they just cannot give up those pass plays and play too soft of defense with their zone or their corner. On that zone defense and their corners are going to have to play a little bit more press coverage.
So some of these starters out there tonight, Steve, for the Blue Devils, 40, make that 53 of Buchanan right there in the middle. Here is a 1st and 10. Fauquier. Deal, the quarterback, keeps it, gets inside the 40 and spins his way down to about the 37. That's a pickup of 5. Going to bring up 2nd and 5 there.
Again, Mark, Deal's their engine that makes them go. He's going to look to run first before he throws it. But Culpeper's defense has got to be aware that he will not only tuck and run, but he will do a little play action and then drop back and try to hit a receiver crossing over the middle. So Culpeper's got to be aware of that.
All right, 2nd and 5. Clock ticking, 8:50 to play. Broman Field, second quarter. Falcons up 7-0. Looking for more. Here's Deal. And this time he gets inside the 35, down to about the 33. Pick up a 4 yards. I believe it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
And again, Fauquier's not going to do anything fancy on offense, Mark.
Actually, Steve, he did get enough for a first down. He got down to the 32. That's where he needed to get. So it'll be 1st and 10 as they move the sticks. You were saying?
And again, I was getting ready to say, Culpeper needs to take advantage of their size, especially on offense and up in the defense, to try to get control of that line of scrimmage.
Okay, here's Deal handing off. This is number 2, Khalil Kiwa, and he's inside the 30. Now they're going with the ground game and straight ahead, just sort of maybe with a little bit of smash mouth football going on there. It seems to be working for Fauquier right now.
It does, Mark. They're trying to wear the Blue Devils down right now with that running game.
About 5 yards.
2nd and 5 coming up for the Falcons. 8 minutes to play here in the second quarter. And this broadcast is made possible by Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. 2nd and 5 Falcons here. Here's Deal. He's going to throw. He's got he had a receiver. It was in his hands, and then he tipped it, unable to hold it in. That was the intended receiver there, number 40, Kyle Dargis. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And Joseph Holland's injured. Looks like, I don't know. He just looked like he just laid down. He was starting to come off, and now he looks like he can't move. So
here he is, number 10.
Hopefully it's a cramp.
And Holland, according to Devin Payne's statistics, is number 2 on this Blue Devil team as far as defensive leaders and tackles. He has 36 on the year, second to Riley Harrison with 65. And Henry Wolf, the trainer, checking out that right knee.
Yeah, because Holland was one putting pressure on the quarterback. Deal. They can't, defense can ill afford to lose him.
Joseph Holland was the injured Blue Devil player, and he was assisted off the field and showing favoritism there to a painful right knee. Fauquier goes back on offense. They were looking at 3rd and 5, and they're going to come up about 3 yards short now after that carry. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2 or 3. Let's check the spots at the 25. It'll be 4th and 3.
Culpeper's got their starting center, Stuart Jones, and their defensive lineman, Joseph Holland, on the sideline. Both potential knee injuries. So right now, Culpeper defense just got to toughen up here, Mark, and see if they can stop that run, get some spark, get the crowd into it.
All right, on 4th down, here's the handoff. He's
Left
got the running touch. Makes that 1st down more and more because you break a couple tackles. That's Khalil Kiwa, and wow, he made that one look easy, Steve. It looked like they had him stopped. He spun away from it, broke a couple tackles, and then he went into the end zone for the Fauquier touchdown. It's Falcons touchdown with 6:41 to play. Here in the second quarter, makes it 13-0 in favor of Fauquier.
Mark, I sound like a broken record. I've said it all season. Poor tackling. They don't wrap up. You can't just hit a running back and hope to think he's going to go down. You've got to you not only got to lower your shoulder into him, you got to wrap him up with your arms to bring him down. And they just are bouncing off these running back, and he just made it easy, went right in the end zone for 6.
Well, James Deal, the quarterback, doubles as the place kicker here. Going to try to tack on this extra point, make it 14-0 in favor of Fauquier, and he does. So Falcons 14, Blue Devils nothing. 6:41 to play here in the second quarter. And this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. And UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136. All right, so the crosstown rival Eastern Butte team, Steve, tonight in action against King George, and I was sort of thinking that might be I was thinking 42-7 Eastern Butte. You and I like to make predictions, and you were sort of weighing in at what?
34-14. I think King George will get a couple touchdowns. Depends on their quarterback down there if Mutter comes back. But I think Easterview is going to be too much for him, for King George. And like I said, I'm looking for Easterview to run the table in the district, Mark. They're going for their 44th consecutive regular season win. And like I said, that Hatfield's got them rolling over there. Coach Hatfield's got them rolling over there.
So next week, Eastonview gets its bye week, and the Blue Devils will travel to Sharando, and that's the game we plan to cover next week.
Yep, and that's another tough foe, Mark. I mean, Culpeper has had to step up this year with the big boys. You know, Sharando, Hanley, Millbrook, James Wood, Fauquier, Liberty. You know, these are the, they're going to have to go up there and compete. But Sharando's having a down year.
Line drive kick, return here by Lacey. Here's the 30-yard line. Lacey doing a good job of the return. Is going to be tackled just shy of the 40. And his Blue Devil offensive teammates will have good field position here.
And again, Culpeper needs to get, I think it's important that they score here, Mark, before the half ends. To get some momentum going in that locker room. See what the coaching staff can dial up offensively. But they've got to take control of that line of scrimmage. Faulkner's using that run blitz and trying to load the box, stop the run. But what they got to do is they got to go in there and they've just got to go in there and just hold the blocks and just give space for the running backs to run.
All right, here's Crenshaw and the Blue Devils starting this drive on their own 39-yard line. Here's the pitch. Running back, Lentz, spun away from the first defender but not the second, and they drop him for a loss. Way back there at the 30-yard line, in on the tackle, number 11, Herschel Rinker for Fauquier, and number 20, Jaden Barlow.
Mark, that was just too easy for Fauquier to read. JoJo's got to sell that more. He's got to look, when he's getting that ball, and he just can't just nonchalantly just throw it out there like that. Faulquier's reading it every time. So they've got to learn to, he's got to sell that more and get, so Lentz can get some more running room to get to that edge.
Second and 19, Blue Devils from their own 30-yard line. They trail 14-0 with just under 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Here's Crenshaw throwing completed pass this time out there to DeJure McCrae. And I think forward progress will get him out close to the 35.
We are selling 50-50 raffle tickets.
We'll check the spot.
JoJo's got a great arm, Mark. He's a talent. At 6'5", he's got talent. But again, he's got to work on his footwork.
They gave him out to the 37. Picked up 7 yards, but brings up 3rd and 12. Time is 5:15 and counting here in the second quarter.
Yeah, let's see what kind of play they're going to do up here. I would think a run, pass, or pitch to the halfback, doing a halfback.
Well,
pass.
I mean, obviously, no team wants to be in a 3rd and long situation, and the Blue Devils have been in a few of those here tonight. Here's another one at 3rd and 12. They load up this right side. Here's the option. Crenshaw
on the option, pitches the left side.
Running back left side, gets out to the 40-yard line, and he's going to be 9 yards shy of a first down. I believe that was Armani Hoffman, number 1, my mistake. DeJure McCrae, the ball carrier. I got some help tonight to my left, Steve. I got Coach James Ford, knows all his players. It's so great to see him in person again. Only the second time that I've been able to do that. And we're going to hope to mic him up at the start of the, before we start the third quarter and get a status report from him, physically how he's doing, how the family's doing, and what he thinks about how the team is doing so far and what they need to do differently. But he's sitting to my left, and sitting to your right is Peter Brewington, who's been up to Fauquier times. I don't know how many years, Peter. It's been a long time, but it's always good to see you. But it takes a football game for us to see you each year, doesn't it?
Yeah, Culpeper.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm not on my game tonight. I just don't feel like I'm in sync. But not being in sync might be one of the problems the Blue Devils are experiencing, Steve.
I think they are, Mark, and right now they're talking about it. But you got 4th down, the ball's at the Culpeper 41-yard line. It looks like they're going to try to go for it here, and they're taking a gamble right here because you don't want to give Fauquier a chance to score right before halftime. So we'll see if they can dial it up here and see if they can find pick up the first down here on fourth down.
All right, so it's 4th and 8 for the Blue Devils at their own 41. We got pressure here from Fauquier. Low snap. It's going to be a quick kick.
Quick kick by the Blue Devils.
Let's see where the bounce is. Well, it's picked up by Shadyak near the 25-yard line. He broke away and still breaking away from tacklers. Either runs through them or spins away from them. And apparently he must be a difficult guy to bring down out there,
Steve.
Steve.
He must be, Mark, but I mean, they had him wrapped up 15 yards. But, he gained another 10, 12 yards just by poor tackling by the Blue Devils. And, again, that's going to kill you. But I like the idea of that quick kick. But defensively, Culpeper's got to get it more aggressive against, put more pressure on Deal, try to get a 3-and-out here. Offensively, I think they've got to make Fauquier pay for that way they're loading the box and that run blitz and what they're doing. They need to get some plays in there offensively, see if they can get and catch Fauquier napping.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 42. Here is Kiwa, who had a touchdown run the last series. He's slung out of bounds by DeJure McCray.
I think this is coming back, Mark. It's going to be holding against Fauquier.
As they mark this one off, we'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by Able Heating and Air. Able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. That is a holding penalty against Fauquier. Well, we talk about Able Heating and Air being able to keep your home comfortable through every season. That is really true. And I noticed that we've had a change in season. I felt it today personally because everything was going really nice and smooth. And then this afternoon, I sneezed once. And then that triggered about a series of 20 sneezes. So I think it's allergy or something in the air.
Or they change the seasons. Sometimes people get sick on the change of seasons too. But Mark, that was a big holding play. And this is what the Blue Devils got to do now. They've got to hold the Fauquier here, see if they can get the ball back. Still plenty of time left here in the second quarter, 4 minutes to go. But they're only down, like I said, 14-0. They're not out of this ball game, but they, like I said, they need to find their way offensively.
Here's 1st and 20 now. This is Kiwa, the ball carrier. And there he is, finding his way out close to the 40-yard line, getting some of that lost yardage back, about 8 yards to be exact. It was 1st and 20, going to bring up 2nd down and 12. 3:40 to play, clock ticking here in the second quarter. It's Falcons 14 and Blue Devils nothing, and this broadcast is made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mays at 829-9200. All right, 2nd and 12, Falcons, and they keep it on the ground to Kiwa, trying to spin away, and they're doing these spinning moves. Now, he didn't get much yardage in, maybe a yard actually, but he and Shadyak sort of have similar running patterns or styles, don't they?
They do, Mark, but if a running back's going to spin like that, means you got to break down tackle and keep your head up. Don't put your head down, or you will miss tackle. You got to keep your head up and wrap them up, and then they won't be able to spin away from you. But you got Joseph Hollins back in, the linebacker. It's good to see that it was not a major injury because Stuart Jones, 64, is still on the bench.
And you're getting Holland back in there is a plus for the Blue Devils. They show pressure here. Quarterback dropping back to pass. Now, over the middle, this one nearly picked off. And it looked like Cam Lacey was in position for the Blue Devils. But it's going to force a 4th down on the incomplete pass, and it's going to be 4th and 12. We'll see the Fauquier punt team.
Mark Armani Hoffman had a chance on number 3 to make an interception right there in that play, and he just kind of had it sail right through his hands. Almost made the interception there.
Don't forget to grab a snack or a drink, maybe some candy over at the concession stand.
Well, let's check the punter. Looks like it's going to be.
They all take credit cards. Go ahead and
I'm going to pick up his number, Steve.
Yeah, see it right here. Roman Field Shadows.
45, I believe it is. Looks like a pretty good kick. This one fielded near the 25-yard line. This is Lentz on the return. Gets out near the 35, so decent field position for the Blue Devils. Clock stops with 2:21 to play here in the second quarter. Right now, the Falcons pitching a shutout, 14-0, but still plenty of time for the Blue Devils here to try to engineer a scoring drive before this first half expires. And of course, as you know, they won the toss and deferred to start the game. So when we start the third quarter, the Falcons will be kicking off to the Blue Devils.
Mark, you're right. And the thing is, the Blue Devil defense just did their job on that series. They limited Fauquier to 3-and-out, forced to punt. Now it's up to the offense to get their act together and see if they can put together a scoring drive here. 2:21 to go here, first half.
All right, let's see what Crenshaw does. Looks like they're going to run a reverse.
Good play.
And coming this way
Gets it on the reverse,
is
coming in
DeJure McCray. And
taken
McCray
out of bounds by
picks
number
up
30.
yardage shy of midfield. Well, you got to go for a little trickery when nothing else is working,
Well,
right?
Mark, that's a great play call because you know why? Because now
On the
you
reverse,
sit
McCray
there and
picks
you're
up a
making
nice
that
block on the
defense
right
that's being
side.
over aggressive and trying to stop the
Nice
run
play
up the
by
middle
number
way to
30
load the
from the
box.
Falcons.
Hey,
And it'll
throw
be
some
first
little
and
trick
10
plays
from
in there, keep them
midfield for the
honest so
Blue
they
Devils.
won't sit there, and then that way you can go back to your inside runs. Because Culpeper's offensive line is so much, I think, bigger. They're especially weight-wise. They should be able to push back Fauquier's defensive line 2 and 3 yards on every play.
McCray picked up 14 yards and the first down. It's just an inch or so shy of that midfield stripe. It's first and 10 Blue Devils with 2:12 to play. And that's McCray in motion. Here's Crenshaw on the option. This is Cam Lacey, and he's smothered at midfield. A nice tackle there made by number 10, Logan Rayleigh. And he's just completely smothered Lacey, and no gain on the play.
Well, in that option play, you know, Crenshaw's got to do a little bit better job of faking that, you know, and making that defensive end, you know, make a decision. I'm going to take the quarterback or take the running back, but go in there and kind of when he makes that pitch, to sell that pitch, just don't kind of nonchalantly poke it out there. And again, and Lacey needs to run harder, run with his head down a little bit more, shoulder down.
All right, here is second and 10, Blue Devils, 1:33 to play. Clock is ticking. That's McCray in motion. Crenshaw, the quarterback. Here comes the pressure. Throws it over the middle. This one is picked off by number 11, Herschel Rinker. Here comes Rinker on the return, and they force him out of bounds. That was Crenshaw making the tackle. And he's going to bring it back just shy of the Culpeper 30-yard line with 1:20 to play. And now Fauquier in position, Steve, to with his short field to add to its lead if they can put together a short drive here from the Blue Devil 32-yard line. Turnover, like you say, turnovers and penalties will what?
Kill you.
Every time.
Every time, and I think that's the first turnover of the game, isn't it?
No, I think it is. There was a near interception that was, you know, a couple of near interceptions. Haven't seen any fumbles, have we?
No. But again, the turnovers will kill you.
Culpeper 31-yard line.
Quarterback
Here's
drops
Deal.
back to pass.
Running around, scrambling out there, being
Back
chased,
to the
looking
backfield.
downfield, and he's
Looking
got
for
a
a
receiver wide open at the
Got him
25.
over there.
20 knocked out of bounds after he got inside the 20.
McCray takes him out of
And
bounds.
McCray knocked him out of bounds,
first
but
down
that
for the
was
Falcons.
receiver Cameron Swift.
And Mark, you see the difference right there with Deal and the quarterback.
Mhm.
And he knows he was running, he was being pressured, but he was running away. But his receivers did a good job of coming back, seeing their quarterback in trouble, coming back to the football.
Picked up 14 yards on a first down. It's first and 10 Falcons at the Blue Devil 17-yard line. Deal, handoff, Kiwa,
Handoff
looking
to the
for
right
running
side.
room. Won't find any this time. Slung down.
Well defended there by the Blue
No
Devils.
gain on the
Number
play.
42, Joe
42.
Lambe with the
Yeah,
tackle.
let's. That was the player I didn't have on the
The
roster.
phantom number.
Second and long.
Maybe
Maybe
Forward
Coach will
out
know.
there.
Who is
And
number
Fauquier
42?
calls timeout.
Maybe have a jersey switch or number switch here. So Fauquier calls a timeout. We've got 52.7 seconds to play here in this second quarter. And the Falcons up 14-0. Obviously would love to go up another touchdown before the intermission. I think that's somebody. I got Coach Ford to my left here mulling over the roster to see if we can find 42 and if there's been a change. Joe Lambe. All right, so Lambe, Steve, is our number 42 player, and Lambe, let's see, was originally number 51. So he'll be in at 42. And we thank Coach Ford for that, and as we pointed out, we're going to want to mic him up before the start of the third quarter to hear from him.
Absolutely. I mean, but right now, Culpeper defense has got to focus on keeping Fauquier out of the end zone right here, Mark. 52 seconds to go and just go down 14-0 at half because they get the ball in the third quarter. And again, Culpeper's been a second-half team all year long. See if they make the adjustments at halftime.
No. Last
Second
play
and
resulted in a
15 for the
5-yard
Falcons.
loss.
Going
Here
right
is
side.
Shadiak. Watch out. He found a
Got
cut.
some
He must be
Lacey
difficult to
drags it
tackle
down.
because he doesn't go down at the additional contact. I haven't seen him go down at all tonight until 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 players going to make contact with him.
Well, right now, Mark, the quickness of the Falcons is bothering the Blue Devils, and that's what's going on. Blue Devils has got the size and strength, I think, on them, But the quickness is really bothering that Blue Devil defense with their quick running backs, and that is so the Blue Devil defense has got to close those gaps and get to the ball carrier and swarm to that football.
Now the Falcons, with 38.1 seconds to play here in the second quarter, call the timeout, and they are in striking range, obviously, here. They have it 3rd and 2 at about the 10-yard line.
Well, Culpeper better not be, don't sell out all the time on the run right here at 3rd and 2, because Fauquier knows they got 2 downs, 38 seconds here to go to try to get in the end zone. Look for Fauquier. They might try to do a run-pass option right here and try to run and try to throw that football. So the Blue Devil defense has got to be ready.
Here they come. I mentioned 42. The assistant coach Ford informed us that that is Joe Lombe. And looks like the ball is actually at the 9 where it's 3rd and 2. Deal will hand off to Kiwa. And Kiwa trying to get to the first down marker. Looks like he's got there.
He also got out of bounds, too.
Stop the clock. Good point. 31.4 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Well, it is going to be a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Now you look for the Falcons to throw it?
At the 7.
We'll try to run it because you got 7 yards, 31 seconds. You don't have too much time, and I don't think Faulkier's got how many timeouts they got?
I think they have one left. I think they're going to dial up Shadyac here. Let's wait and see what happens. Here's Deal. Here is Shadyac over the left side. And determined effort straight ahead. Gets down to about the 3. That's where it'll be 2nd and goal, and the clock runs until the timeout is called with 21.9 seconds to play.
Fauquier doesn't have much time. Their clock's the Culpeper's friend. So now, if you're Culpeper, they've got it down to what, the 3-yard line?
3-yard line where it's 2nd and goal.
Well, Fauquier really, with no timeouts, only has one, they only have one chance to run it, I think. So they're going to try to, Blue Devils have got to figure out, is Fauquier going to try to throw it in here or try to run it in? Because if Culpeper can stop him on the run, Fauquier has no timeouts.
It'll be interesting. Well, if you're wondering how the Falcons have done this year, they're 3-3. They opened the season and lost to Loudoun County 31-0. Then they beat Brentsville District 32-0. Then they beat Heritage of Leesburg 14-13. Then they lost to Hanley 35-21. They lost to Millbrook 42-21, and then last week beat Kettle Run 21-7. And under head coach Carl Buckwalter, the Falcons last week ended that 19-game losing streak to its county rival football teams.
Well, 2 things that strike out there. Brentsville, which beat Spotsylvania, that's the only Spotsylvania's only loss. Fauquier beat, and then again, got another timeout again. It looks like the Blue Devils this time.
Blue Devils call timeout.
And then you have Kettle Run tonight playing Louisa. That's going to be Louisa's going to run all over Kettle Run. At the beginning of the season, you thought that might be a marquee matchup. No, Kettle Run's way down, so I look for Louisa to have a big win on that game tonight. But Fauquier, 3-3. They played the tough teams like we played Hanley, and they've played Millbrook, and we haven't had a chance to play Millbrook yet. And and Fauquier still got the annual Bird Bowl game, the last game against Liberty. But right here for the Blue Devils, they got it really. Fauquier is got the clock is in the Blue Devils' favor here. See what the Fauquier is going to do. They're going to try to see if they're going to load up the box and do play action and throw it, or they're going to try to run it in and see what happens.
2nd and goal. Here's Kiwa making a nice move. He got down close to, actually got in. And it looked like they had him, Steve, and Kiwa just a little slippery out there, and he scores his 2nd touchdown tonight, makes it 20-0 with 15.7 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock.
And the Blue Devils didn't need that, Mark. They had him stopped, but again, another poor tackle, and Kiwa is slippery, and he got in that end zone.
And now the holder, Evan Jackson, for James Deal, who shifts from quarterback to the place kicker for the point after here. And his kick is up, and it's good. And it's 21-0 in favor of the Falcons. And so what was the demise here on this series for the Blue Devils in your estimation, Steve, knowing that Fauquier started on its own 42-yard line? I strike that. they started on Culpeper's 31-yard line, and I think that field position just too much.
Field position, that interception, that's what got it started, and then Fauquier just started running, making some plays with their running game. Again, the quickness, I think, is bothering the Blue Devil defense a little bit. And, physicality-wise, I think Culpeper is bigger and should be stronger up front. But right now, Fauquier is just playing mistake-free football, and Culpeper has one turnover, and then the inability to move the football on offense. That's why they're down 21-0.
Well, really, the biggest play for the Blue Devils offensively was on that reverse to McCray
Yep.
for 14 yards. And so, obviously you need more of that, but you're going to have to go maybe a little deeper into your bag of tricks.
Well, I don't think you got to go with trick plays, but you got to keep that defense of Fauquier guessing. They're loading up the box trying to stop the run. So you've got to do a little bit of play action and keep them to use that aggressiveness against them.
This kick kept on the ground. This one's fielded by DeJure McCray, and McCray will be tackled at about 33-yard line. And the Blue Devils have time for one, maybe two plays before this first half expires.
And what I'm saying, you got to get better blocking up front and give your quarterback time. JoJo's got to relax a little bit, not get excited back there and throw off his back feet. But again, you do some play action right there, and make those safeties, because basically now, they're playing too deep right now because they know Culpeper's got to throw it with 11 seconds here to go. But when they were playing just one deep safety, they've got to be able to make him draw up and then be able to hit the slant pass or a little wheel route.
All right, Blue Devils from their 34-yard line. Here's a reverse again. Oh, it's going to be a halfback option pass, throwing downfield. This one intercepted by Evan Jackson. Looks like they were trying to get it out there to Armani Hoffman.
I like the play call,
Yep.
Mark. I do like the play call. It was the right call, I think, but it looks like it's coming back because there might be a penalty against Fauquier. And we'll see what the call is.
Well, whatever it was against the Falcons, and the Blue Devils get one more shot at it with 1.8 seconds to play. And they'll take a knee, does Crenshaw, and that's the way the first half's going to end or expire, with McCray taking a knee, and then the Falcons going to the intermission with a 21-0 lead. And Steve, when we come back, of course the Falcons will be kicking off the Blue Devils. But before we come back to start the third quarter, we hope to mic up Blue Devils head coach James Ford, who's here tonight. So we'll take a break, enjoy the intermission, and before the start of the third quarter, we hope to hear from the coach. Stay tuned. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice, because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air. Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. CFC Farm and Home Center, hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best. Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
right, welcome back to our broadcast. It's halftime here at Roman Field, where it's Falcons 21, Blue Devils nothing. I'm Mark O'Connell, and before we roll into the third quarter, I am pleased to introduce to our viewing audience Culpeper first-year head coach James Ford, who joins us now. Coach, so good to see you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, and I got to, the people in the community know about your illness and how you haven't been able to assume your coaching duties this year. This is the first time I've seen you since August when we met at the school and did the preview of the season. You were hospitalized soon thereafter. How are you feeling, and what's going on with your status now?
Right now, I'm just getting better, getting stronger every day. Right now, the cancer's in remission. That's the beautiful thing right now. My family and I are just trying to take it day by day and trying to get stronger and just praying every day.
Well, I know a lot of people are praying for you as well. And I noticed that just to have you out here tonight, it's inspiring for you and your wife and family and the people in Culpeper. What's it like for you sitting here tonight, even though you're back and you're in the stadium? What's it like not being able to actually be down there and coach?
It's weird. It actually feels weird being up in the booth and not being able to be out on the field and be amongst the guys. But I was able to talk to them earlier, get during warm-ups, and able to give some words of encouragement to the guys. It's just a surreal feeling. I'm just happy, to be honest with you, just to be out here on a Friday night. I miss it so much, and I cannot wait till next season till I'm back on the field full time.
Well, we look forward to that. Now, is there any possibility you could assume duties at some point this season, or is it going to be no earlier than next season?
As of right now, it doesn't look like I'll be able to assume duties at all for the rest of the season. With the treatments they got me on and going back and forth to UVA a couple times a week, it's kind of hard to be at the school full time, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm hoping to assume other duties come after the Christmas holiday.
Yeah. I'm going to ask everyone in the viewing audience to keep Coach Ford and his family, his wife Katrina, in your thoughts and prayers, because you're battling something that right now is in remission, but that's where we want it to stay,
exactly,
obviously.
Yeah.
But there's just you don't know what tomorrow can bring, that sort of thing.
Yes.
But you've stayed very positive about this, and you've had to be strong. In fact, your wife is wearing a sweatshirt that sort of captures the essence of how tough you all have had to be in 2 words: Ford tough.
Yes. She's my superwoman. She's been there, taking me back and forth to UVA for all the treatments and driving back and forth when I'm in the hospital every day and making sure that I'm eating and doing everything properly. So, yeah, definitely my superwoman.
All right. Every man should have a superwoman. And her name is Katrina, and we had a chance to meet her tonight. She's standing here. Pardon us? Well, they don't call them our better halves for nothing, right?
Exactly.
All right. So, everyone's going to keep you in their thoughts and prayers. You've been sitting to my left during the broadcast, and I've been nervous tonight, not because of your presence, just that I've just felt like I'm out of sync. And Steve's been on top of his game. But do you agree with some of the things we've said? What are you seeing tonight? Because one of the things you said is that, you're a quarterback's coach. Crenshaw, we've pointed out, he's having kind of a rough time out there.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to settle down. He'll be okay. He's okay. He's a good athlete, great athlete, smart kid, really smart, young guy, and he just needs to settle down and just make the throws he can make. Coach Downs has done a great job with him at practice, and he just got to trust the line and just make the throws.
Well, speaking of Donald Downs, I mean, because we used to call him the magician because he could sell that play fake so well. I mean, just fake people out of their socks. But Steve's talking about how JoJo Crenshaw needs to sell that play fake more and be more convincing with it. And I think if he's going to do it, he's going to learn from a great guy like Donald Downs.
Yeah. He just got to trust the line. I mean, he's new to the position. He came in as our number 2. But with unfortunately to plaster injury to Josh, he got put into the starting role, and he just needs to settle down. He's going to do well. He's going to be very good.
Well, one of the things that we haven't really talked about much is the role Josh Plaster played, and then the setback he experienced.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, he wasn't the only Blue Devil to have a setback. I wasn't the only Blue Devil to have a setback. He had a hospital stay that kind of ended his football career, unfortunately. And we've been praying. I've been praying for him, and it's good to see him out on the field as our student coach.
Very good. Now, before I know you want to get down on the field and talk to some of your coaches and players and that sort of thing, I want to say thanks for joining us. But if you were in that locker room making some halftime adjustments, what would you implement here in the second half?
Well, Fauquier is doing a really, really good job of loading the box and making sure that we're not, playing to our strength, which is our running game. We just got to figure out the way to get guys out the box and. Sorry,
that's all right. We were watching the kickoff, and we were watching the good hands work there of Cameron Buchanan, right?
Yeah.
You were sort of waiting to see how that ball was going to bounce.
I definitely was.
Yeah.
But just get guys out the box and just let our guys make plays. Let our playmaker make plays.
All right. Coach James Ford, so good to see you. I really mean that.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And I hope that your health continues to improve and that this cancer stays in remission.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank everybody for the thoughts and prayers, and I just want to thank again. I'm just grateful.
All right, well, we're grateful to see you. Enjoy the rest of the game, and we hope to see you again soon, Coach.
Yes, thank you.
All right, and Katrina, so great, really nice to meet you as well, the wife of Coach Ford. And now Steve Peacock will join us here shortly, and we'll get him back mic'd up. You had a chance to listen to Blue Devils head coach James Ford, who has not been able to coach at all this season because of the diagnosis of leukemia. Brandon Oots has been the acting head coach and trying to do a good job out there, and he has. And here the Blue Devils throwing and completing this one to Armani Hoffman, and this should be enough for a Blue Devil first down. So you heard Coach Ford talk about some of his, really his assessment of how the Blue Devils were doing, what sort of adjustments he would make at this in this third quarter. Steve, welcome back to the broadcast. Blue Devils here receive the opening kickoff, and they have a 1st and 10 now at the Fauquier 49. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of adjustments they have made. Bradley Harrison's one of those adjustments because he's now running the ball. We didn't see him in the first half.
Well, I like the Harrison runs. He's a tough, right up the middle type of runner, and he hits the hole quicker than the other backs do. They just don't want to wear him out because he plays so well in defense. But that's what they got to do. And what I like what Coach Ford said. We've got to get plays to our playmakers.
Right.
They've got to get control of that line of scrimmage. Their Fauquier's not that big. They don't weigh that much up front, but their quickness, like I said at halftime, is bothering the Blue Devils.
Joseph Holland out there as a receiver. Here is 2nd and 6 for Culpeper. Fauquier shows pressure. Blue Devils throw it, jumping up in the air, or leaping in the air rather, is a receiver to Jerry McCray, and he hauls it in for a first down catch for the Blue Devils. And already Culpeper's looking much better here in this third quarter than they looked the entire first half on offense.
Yeah, they've made some adjustments, Mark, and they've got to come out. They've got to come out and score at this opportunity. This possession, I think they got to score to send the message to the Falcons they're getting back into this football game. Now, they had a good turnaround against James Wood. They were down 28-7 last week at halftime against the Colonels, and they came back. So see if they can make a game of it.
All right, they now have it at the Fauquier 37-yard line. Third quarter action here. Crenshaw throwing downfield and battling for it. This one's picked off. I'm not sure he caught it inbounds. Was Evan Jackson.
And they say
they say he did. So here's an interception. And Steve, what's your take on that throw?
Again, Mark, is Coach Ford. He's got he was a quarterback's coach as well. JoJo's throwing off his back feet, and when you're running like that, the ball sailed on him a little bit, and the safety for Fauquier was able to come. Jackson was able to run right under it, get a foot down in bounds. I wish we had replay. I don't know if he made it in bounds, but the officials say he did. But again, that shouldn't hurt Culpeper because that's like a punt. Now you play the field position game, play good defense, force the Falcons to punt, and try to see if you can get the ball back on offense. Or try to get a defensive score off a turnover.
Yeah, except that it wasn't a third or fourth down play. But anyway, that's a positive spin there. It's provided by Steve Peacock. And here's Shadiak. He lost the ball, but and now it could be recovered by the Blue Devils, and it is. Now it looks like it is stayed in bounds. So we're talking about there was no fumbles in the first half. Shadiak, who we talked along with Keywall, had run like slippery eels out there, and they had sort of had their way. And now Shadiak's first carry, Steve, of the third quarter results in a fumble, and it was recovered by Ozzie Reindorf. So turnabout fair play. Huh?
That was a good play right there, Mark. They punched it out right there at Shadiak before he got out of bounds. And now turn around, it's fair play. Now the Blue Devils have to make the Falcons pay for this. I would get your running game going, getting Harrison and Lentz going and pound it right up that middle.
Culpeper has it at the Fauquier 20. And this is Lentz looking for running room. He won't find any. Instead, he finds a pair of Falcons by the names of Jaden Barlow and Kyle Dargis, who combined for the tackle and the loss on the play.
I don't understand why Riley is not in there, Mark, because Lentz, his strength is not running east and west right there. He kind of stopped and tried to get outside. He just doesn't have the quickness against that quickness of Fauquier to get to the edge. And now look what happened. He probably about
9-yard loss.
9-yard loss.
2nd and 19. I think you're right. Probably their best bet, straight ahead running with the power running of Riley Harrison, but that's their call. Okay, here's Crenshaw throwing out there. Going up for it again is McCray. He comes down with it and wrestled down inside the 5-yard line. See, that's the second leaping catch he's made here in the third quarter.
Mark, that's worthy of a replay. Let's go to it. Fake inside, JoJo Crenshaw finds McCray. He just throws it up there. McCray uses athletic ability to outleap the Falcon defender and pulls that ball down for a nice gain, first down, and goal to go right there inside the 5, Mark.
Yeah, you better get those vocal cords warmed up if the Blue Devils keep a handle on this football, because they might be able to find that end zone. This is Lentz back there behind Crenshaw, and they go to Lentz. And he's going to be stopped after about a 1-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. This is where I know Lentz is a good player, but I really like Riley Harrison in this position.
I do too, Mark, because he's a stronger runner.
And he is in the game there, number 4. And what's Harrison doing this year coming into this game as a running back? He leads the team with 525 rushing yards on 81 carries, and that's 6.5 yards a pop.
But he's only had 1 carry all night. I just don't – maybe he was banged up. I don't know. But they haven't been giving the ball that much.
Unless they direct snap it to him here, he probably won't get it here as well. It'll be Lentz fumbling on the exchange from Crenshaw, and now the Blue Devils are moving a little backwards here. They're going to have it 3rd and goal. It looks like now from the 6 or 7 yard line.
Mark, they can't stand prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I nothing against Austin Lentz, but I'd have Riley Harrison as my featured back in that formation. And again, right now, it's looking like the Blue Devils are going backwards. Now they're going to be 3rd down and long. It looks like they're going to have to throw it, but there is a penalty on the play.
Yeah, penalty flag down near that marker, and this is the first I've seen it.
Let's see what the call is. It looks like it might be against Fauquier.
Penalty flag there at the down marker, and the official comes over to pick it up. Let's see what the call is. And the man in the white hat, the referee, should make it.
No, it's against Culpeper.
Move it back to, it is at the 8 yard line. And it is 3rd and goal.
I guess they just used the flag to mark the ball where it's fumbled.
Crenshaw, play action, throwing. And unable to bring this one in is Armani Hoffman. He was in double coverage out there, and one of those defensive backs was Nick Shadiak, and the other one was Evan Jackson.
And I like the play call, Mark, because it froze that linebackers right there. And now the problem is, Crenshaw threw into double coverage. He's got to look that off and try to go his reads, and should have thrown to the left. He's got to figure out where the one-on-one man-on-man coverage is. But now this brings up 3rd and 8?
Yeah, I thought it was 3rd on the previous play. It was 2nd. Now it's 3rd goal from the 8 yard line. And Riley Harrison is going to be that featured back alongside Crenshaw here on 3rd and goal. And it is Harrison. No, it's play action, and he finds DeJure McCray. He sold the play fake that time to Harrison, and he found McCray. It's the first touchdown for Culpeper. I know Steve's been warming up those vocals for this moment.
Touchdown, Blue Devils. Crenshaw to McCray. And Mark, that was, like you said, the great play fake play action, it froze those linebackers right there for Culpeper. McCray is able to get right behind him, and Crenshaw delivered. Touchdown.
Looks like they may line up for a 2-point conversion try. Score is 21-6. Fauquier, 7:35 to play here in this third quarter, and the Blue Devils will line up to go for 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go for 2 here. I would have tried for the point out unless Barrows must be hurt.
Well, Harrison is behind Crenshaw in the gun there. Crenshaw hands it off to Riley Harrison. Makes the cut, and Harrison, second effort, looks like he's going to get in, and the 2-point try is good. And Steve, that was Harrison at his finest right there.
That's what I'm saying, Mark. Again, Harrison right there, he needs to be the featured back. I'm going to say that. Nothing against the other Lacey and Lentz, but right now Harrison is a tough runner. He's the toughest runner they have between the tackles.
And you know what? He had to create that because it wasn't like there was a huge opening for him to run through. He had to make a couple moves, and he got into the end zone. It's 21-8, Fauquier, and it was 21-0 at the intermission, and now the Blue Devils have their first points of the game with 7:35 to play here in this third quarter. Well, you know, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. And CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. Well, I'm Mark O'Connell, joined as always by Steve Peacock, and we've got both our camera crew people tonight, Johnny Krawchuk and newcomer Nicole Wooten up there braving the cold and taking turns filming. And it'll be interesting, Steve. The Blue Devils found something there on that drive that worked, and it seems like the play action and going to McCray was big. And then for your short gainers, obviously you want Riley Harrison carrying that football.
You sure do, Mark.
Here's the kickoff. This is going to be returned from the 5. This is Nick Shadyak. Shadyak gets to the 25, and that's where he's dropped. And the Fauquier Falcons up 21-8 will go back on offense.
Well, let's see if I can get an Eastern View King George update, Mark.
All right. See how our predictions pan out tonight. I had Eastern View winning that game over against King George by the score of 42-7, but I've been wrong before. In fact, I've been wrong as many times as I've been right. Tonight has been a difficult broadcast in that first half, trying to find synchronicity. But here in the third quarter, it seems a little smoother all the way around. And I wonder if it may have something to do with the fact that we had a chance to hear from Coach Ford, and that was uplifting to get a good report from him. And then we see the Blue Devils playing better here in the third quarter. They did make some adjustments, and I thought the passes from Crenshaw, McCray made a couple leaping catches to keep the drive going, and then on that touchdown catch, he also made a nice reception.
He sure did, Mark. And again, now let's see if the Blue Devil defense can hold here this Fauquier offense.
All right, this is the running back. This is 42, Kyle. Make that Andre Chavis.
Looks like another hard, tough runner for the Falcons. First time you called his number.
Yeah, it is. He gets out to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Falcons. Clock running. 6:45 to play here in this third quarter. Fauquier 21, Culpeper 8. You know, these two teams have had a long-standing rivalry, Steve, and you were familiar with that growing up here and playing with Culpeper in the 70s and then following along in the 80s and the 90s. But it's been sort of looks like the ball may be loose and Culpeper has it unless the play was ruled dead.
The play's ruled dead.
But I want to talk to you about that rivalry here in a second because I actually thought that maybe the two teams, they're going to say it is a fumble against by Fauquier, and the Blue Devils have recovered it. Could this be a key turning point for Culpeper?
Could be, Mark, and this could be the turnover that they need.
You know, the officials are still talking about Cameron Buchanan there, the Blue Devil.
You're still talking about it right here. Blue Devils
in hearing range.
Blue Devils think they have it.
Now, Buchanan gets pushed away some. This 7-7 at the half?
Yeah.
Well, all right. So here's an update for you. And the Eastern Butte King George game, much tighter than I thought it would be. It's 7-7 at the half.
Well, you know King George is going to be fired up down there at Dahlgren, down at the old. Well, they don't have the pit anymore.
What do they call it? The Fox Den or something?
Fox
or its
Den,
equivalent?
Yeah, because they used to play in the pit. I remember we had to broadcast a game from there.
That was a unique structure and place, and they didn't call it the pit for nothing. But then they built that new stadium over there. It's a
the turf field.
Yeah, the turf field. All right. And I got to find out here what they ruled, because it looks like that it was not a fumble because the ball goes back to Fauquier.
Yeah, Blue Devils thought they have it, so.
And they have it at the 40-yard line.
And you know, if King George would upset Eastern, that'd be a monumental upset.
Well, you know, could be a story written along the theme of A Tale of Two Halves.
Yeah.
All right, here's Deal. Stepping up, plenty of time, throwing deep. Incomplete. Good coverage out there provided by Armani Hoffman against the intended receiver Cameron Swift. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Falcons. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line, and they lead 21-8. But it was 21-0 in favor of Fauquier at the intermission, and the Blue Devils put together a scoring drive here in the third on a touchdown pass from Crenshaw to DeJure McCray. And then the 2-point conversion by Riley Harrison makes it 21-8. Here's 2nd and 10. This is Kiwa, the ball carrier. And he had some good runs in that first half. And this time the Blue Devils do a nice job of stopping him for a nominal gain, perhaps a yard.
Yeah, Mark, and again, they're going to have to step up here and don't give up a big play and, force this a big third down play here for the Blue Devils. I think this, if they can force Fauquier to punt the football and get it back, they get the momentum swing on their side.
3rd and 9, Falcons. They have it at the 41-yard line. 5:40 to play, clock ticking, third quarter. And here is Deal. He's got protection. He throws, and this one's incomplete. Intended for Kyle Dargis, and then coming over quickly for the Blue Devils with DeJure McCray. And so they do force a punt here. And the Blue Devil defense does its job, Steve, and their offensive teammates will get the ball back here, barring a miscue. And we'll see what they can put together. They've got plenty of time. We're 5:33 to play here in this third quarter. Well, this broadcast is made possible by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136. So we have a timeout taken by the Blue Devils. And so it was good to see Coach Ford.
Sure was.
And meet his wife here tonight here in the press box, see him out and about, and for him to get a positive report, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, that was real positive to show that his cancer is in remission. So that was a real positive outcome right there.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're looking at the Blue Devils, and we wish Coach Ford and his family continued success with that fight, and hopefully he'll be back on the field quickly.
So you were talking about Joe Crenshaw. Did you say he took a year off playing football?
Well, yeah, they said he took a year off playing football and concentrating on basketball last year. So he's very highly talented kid. He's just got to learn to get his footwork under him.
And so, during the winter, I always follow wrestling rather than basketball. So I'm not familiar with his skills on the hardwood. But tell me about his skills as a basketball player as this punt won't be returned.
Well, I know Coach Thompson probably wasn't happy he went out for football, but JoJo's 6'5" wing, and he's got a good outside jump shot and can drive take it to the hole, and he's probably going to be a projected starter on the Blue Devil basketball team this year.
All right, and so Crenshaw is a junior, and you said he's listed at 6'5", and a good basketball player.
So, 6'5", he can see over that offensive line, that defensive line. He's just got to learn to quit throwing off his back foot, but as Coach Ford alluded to at half, he hasn't been able to. He's the quarterback coach, and hasn't been able to work with him that much. But again, he looks like they're doing a better job with the play calling here in the second half and using Harrison in the backfield. But it looks like an empty backfield right now. Harrison's in there.
All right, here is Crenshaw on first down, and this is Harrison. He found a hole, then he stiff arms a tackler and drags Daryl Mayfield for a gain. There he is, Harrison, just tough, straight ahead running. And, you know, he's got some moves and some footwork to go along with that.
He does. He's quick in the hole, and that's what the Blue Devils need. And nothing against the other running backs, but Riley hits that hole quicker, and that's what you need on a running back right here to keep the Fauquier Falcons honest, quit loading up that box.
2nd and 3. Here come the Falcons, and that pressure and blitz enables the Falcons to get into that backfield and smother Harrison before he can get on track.
Mark, that wasn't Harrison's fault. That was the blocking up front. You got to tell your offensive line, they're showing blitz right there. But again, the quickness, the quickness is getting to is really affecting the offensive line of Culpeper.
3rd and 6 now, following that 3-yard loss. And the clock runs with 4:20 to play here in the third. And you know this broadcast is made possible by Able Heating and Air, able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-75-56. All right, 3rd and 6, Blue Devils for Crenshaw and company. Here comes some pressure. Crenshaw throwing downfield. He's got a receiver out there. It's caught by Armani Hoffman. Makes a diving catch at the Fauquier 30-yard line. Big first down yardage, and the Blue Devils will set up here after the long gainer, Steve, and they move the sticks.
Mark, let's go to replay on that. Work of JoJo Crenshaw. He steps back, he steps into the throw, and he's able to get more velocity on it, air under it, and allow Armani Huffman to run under it for a good catch. First down, Blue Devils.
To the tune of 35 yards to be exact. It's at the Fauquier 31-yard line where it's first down. They go back to, this is Austin Lentz 30, 25, 20. And a good run for Lentz, maybe his best of the night. He got inside the 20 to the 19. That's 12 yards, and another Blue Devil first down.
That's the first time tonight I've seen Austin Lentz really run and hit that hole harder, and he's got Riley Harrison to help show for that, how to run and hit that hole.
Picked up 13 to be exact. They mark it at the 18. Looks like the Blue Devils may be calling a timeout here. With 3:33 to play here in this third quarter, Blue Devils trail by 13. It's 21-8 Fauquier, and this broadcast is made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good, only Mama Mays. 829-9200. They're the Blue Devil cheerleaders. Dressed for colder weather tonight, Steve. It didn't take me long to put on a jacket, and I noticed you wore a hoodie as well. So we had a change in season. We're definitely feeling it.
Well, it's going to get quite chilly tonight. They're saying it's going down to about 35 tonight. Some frost advisories are out.
Well, I may have cut my grass for the last time, and the last time I cut it, I didn't know that was going to be the last time. But it's not growing now.
It's not growing. We've got a drought going on. So.
Yeah, we had when I was working Wednesday in Charlottesville, we had a period of time where the rain came down pretty good and steady. There was a lot of water on the road, but I don't know. I know that helped a little, and we got movement up there on. Left side of the Blue Devils, right side of the Fauquier line.
Let's see if it's against the Blue Devils or Fauquier. I think it might be encroachment Fauquier. We'll see. Do the Blue Devils move? No, they're going to call it against the Blue Devils.
Here it comes. False start or illegal procedure against the Blue Devils. Pushes it back to the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 for Culpeper from that spot.
Number 50 is the center mark.
Yeah, and that I'm going to get to that here in just a second. This is Lentz looking for a running room. He can't find any either. He drew about 4 white jerseys out there, including Kyle Dargis, number 40, and some help from his teammate Jaden Barlow, number 20. Line of scrimmage, the 23. No gain. 2nd and 15 coming up here. Clock running at 3:05 to play in the third.
That's our new center, Carl Quimbo. I can't pronounce his last name. Number 50.
That's one of those household names, Steve. Here's the pressure by Fauquier. Play action. Here's a throw on the slant. This is caught by McCray. Makes a spin move. Eludes a tackler. Gets inside the 10-yard line. It'll be a first down for Culpeper, and it'll be first and goal from that spot.
Mark,
Steve, get those vocal cords warmed up again.
I know. I've been telling you that plays there. If they do play action, that slant is right there, and you got to use DeJure McCray and Armani Hoffman are big, tall kids, and get them the football.
All right, first and goal, Blue Devils from the Falcon 9-yard line. 2:22 and counting, third quarter. Falcons showing pressure again. Here they come. Harrison tries it up the middle. Hard running by Harrison. Hard to bring down. He didn't have much to work with, but he didn't want to go down to the turf as well. And he picked up some tough yards down to the, call it the 6. Picked up 3 yards. It'll be second and goal now from the 6.
Again, just run right behind that offensive line. And again, Harrison's doing a good job.
Okay. I was just reminded it's actually first down here. Okay.
First and goal.
First and goal from the 6. Okay. Harrison back there on the right side of Crenshaw. They fake it to Harrison. They throw the leaping catch or rather bringing it in was Armani Hoffman. He's made a few of those tonight, unable to do so this time.
Minute 47 seconds here to go, Mark, in the third quarter. And again, the Blue Devils got to score here. They've got now, second down. But I like the play call, trying to throw it to high to Armani Hoffman, usually use his height. But again, I might go back to it, do a play action, sell out that run, make those linebackers for Fauquier commit to it, and then see if you can slip those receivers right in front of those defenders.
All right, second and goal from the 6, and this time Austin Lentz is the deep back behind Crenshaw, the quarterback. Lentz, ball carrier, left side, straight ahead he goes! Lentz fights his way into the end zone from 6 yards out.
Touchdown, Blue Devils! Austin Lentz from 6 yards out, Mark. Good hard running by Austin Lentz. Touchdown.
Should we look at that one again?
Yeah, it's a straight ahead run, Mark. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, but what's wrong with straight aheads?
And look right here, Austin Lentz in the handoff, right between the left guard and left tackle, right in and puts his way in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
21-14 our score, and so the Blue Devils again line up for 2. And we may want to find out if Gabe Barros is injured or whatever. Here's a throw for the 2-point try. It looks like DeJure McCray is in. And so the Blue Devils, Steve, 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions, and now it's 21-16. And in much better shape than they were against James Wood last week for this reason. It's the time issue. They're not even done with the third quarter yet.
Yeah, they're not even done with the third quarter. Time issue now. The touchdown puts them ahead.
I think we're going to have an update courtesy of Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, it says right here, Eastern View, 66 penalty yards. That's no surprise. And 64 yards of offense in the first half.
All right, well, that would be the surprise.
Yep. So this must be, King George down there must be dialing up the defense down there. Coach Lunsford has got his, the King George, what's their nickname down there?
Foxes.
Foxes. Dialed in and.
Like a fox on the run.
But Eastern View's been killed with.
Like a fox.
On the run. But Eastern View was killed them all year long. It's penalties. And they're probably one of the most penalized teams in the state of Virginia. They have to be. So.
That was really the huge blemish on last week's game, wasn't it?
Yep, sure was. 64 yards of offense in the first half.
But it's so un-Eastern View-like. You can only imagine what might be going on down there. I don't think it's officially called the Fox Den, but King George has that newer stadium. I don't remember exactly when it opened, but we remember the contrast, what they used to have down there. I know the people down in King George have to be very proud of that new facility. Likewise, you would say the same things about the folks over in Fluvanna County, wouldn't you?
Sure would.
Here's a return from the 6. This is Kiowa across the 30 and 35. That's where he was tripped up, fell forward to about the 36 or 37. And that's where Fauquier will go back on offense. Remember, they led at the intermission 21-0. but the Blue Devils have scored 16 unanswered points here in the third.
And can the Blue Devils, hold on defense and get the ball back for their offense right now? Right now, the momentum is in the hands of the Blue Devil defense right now.
And I think if you're the Blue Devil defensive unit, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, they've got to feel inspired that their offense is backing them up now.
Yep, you got.
Look at this right here. You got Kiwa running into a stone wall, and he's probably greeted as rudely in this third quarter as he's been the whole game, because remember in that first half, he had a pretty good game.
He's by Bracken Hibbert, number 68, and 66, Will Holland looks like the injured player, Mark. No, in 53.
That's Cameron Buchanan.
He's really. It looks like he's got a cramp. Yep, he's got a cramp.
And those are painful.
They are. They will knock you down like an axe takes down a tree.
How about when you get one like in bed?
I know.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Night cramp. Oh God, in your leg, and that's for us old folks, people. That you might not experience cramps, but us old folks get cramps in our legs at night. When they seize up the calf, it'll wake you up in a heartbeat.
We get injured in the darndest ways, right? What was it Art Linkletter's show? Kids say the darndest things, Steve, when we were growing up.
Okay. Eastern View's now is up 14-7 over King George.
Yeah, they may that might really ignite them going up 14-7.
I think so.
So I was going to say Art Linkletter's show. Kids say the darndest things.
Now you got.
Now at our age, it's like we get injured in the darndest ways.
That's a good show. Well, the kids say the darndest things. The show now with. It used to be Art Linkletter, then Steve Harvey. Now it's Tiffany Haddish. It's on ABC.
I didn't realize that.
It's Sunday nights.
All right, second down. Here's Deal. He's got protection. He's throwing downfield. It's caught along the sidelines there. Making the catch is Sterling Ellis. First time we've called his name and number tonight. That'll move the sticks, and that's the best play the Falcons have experienced offensively here in this third quarter.
Yeah, number 8, Osman Reindorf. He was defending on a play. I thought he was making a play in the ball, but missed it, and Fauquier was able to complete that pass, but Deal just stepped into it and made a beautiful throw.
Yeah, 30 yards on the play. 1st and 10 Falcons from the Blue Devil 34. Shadyak, the ball carrier, broke a tackle. Straight ahead he goes. Not a big guy, but he runs big. And he got inside that Blue Devil 35-yard line down to the 34. He'll be close to another first down. Looks like he'll be about a yard shy. And the Falcons go no huddle here. This is Shadyak. This time, nothing doing. They trap him in the backfield. Let's pick up that number. It's Holland, the outside linebacker, making the solo tackle there to push Shadyak back, deny him before he can get going. Moves the ball back to the 36. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Final 20 seconds ticking off this scoreboard clock here in the third quarter.
Yeah, big number 60, Jason Douglas coming in for 51. Joe Lambe. Well, Lambe's 42. So.
Yeah, right. Here's Deal. He's got a first down and lowers his shoulder and delivers the hit on the tackler, Cam Lacey. Good run by that quarterback. Tough run. And he got inside the 25-yard line and a Falcon first down. Down to 1.5 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, we got both brothers on the field, 66 Will Holland and number 10 Joe Holland, Mark, on defense.
13-yard run by the quarterback. Deal moves the sticks once more. Now Fauquier driving, but we won't get another play up as this third quarter has expired. All right, we've played 3 here at Broman Field, where it's Falcons 21, Blue Devils 18.
All right, we thought it was going to be Chase.
And we'll come back for the start of the fourth quarter right after this. Stay tuned. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
Thank you, the Battlefield.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you've made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air. Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. CFC Farm and Home Center, hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams, and do your best. Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
Welcome back to our broadcast. Start of the fourth quarter sees the Falcons on offense, 1st and 10 at the Blue Devil 23-yard line. Here is Kiwa, the ball carrier, breaks the first tackle and then gets down close to the 15-yard line. I believe there's a penalty flag down. Let's check the call.
See, number one, DeJure McCray had a shot at him, but he tried to arm tackle him. But it looks like it's going to be blocking the back hold against Fauquier. It's going to knock it back.
Have you noticed that the officials calling tonight's game are much more decisive quickly?
Yes, I like this crew. They've done a good job, Mark. I mean, unlike last week's game in Easterview, I mean, it looked like the officials are throwing the laundry every 5 seconds.
And it wasn't real decisive. They had to confer on just about every play, wasn't it?
Sure
Yeah.
was.
This is like.
And the game took a long time. And
Yeah.
It was a blowout.
Mm-hmm. All right, this pushes the ball back to the 34-yard line where it's 1st and 20. I mentioned before the start of the fourth, it was 21-18. It's actually 21-16. Play action deal. He's throwing. He got a receiver out there. It's Cameron Swift hauling it into the 20 and then tackled at the 15-yard line by Armani Hoffman.
Yeah, defended there by Osmore and Reindorf, and he should have been more tighter coverage right there. But again, Fauquier did a good job with that play, selling that play action fake, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And
18 yards from Deal to Cameron Swift. Now the Falcons in business now. Remember, they were leading at the intermission 21-0, and it's 21-16 in favor of Fauquier now as Shadiak takes off. He's got that real good acceleration, and he got inside the, looks like the 10-yard line down close to about the 6 or 7.
Well, there was a good block out there in the edge there by Fauquier. I can't get the guy's number, but he basically took out the Culpeper defender on that play. But there might be, okay, I thought it might be a flag on the play.
Let's check the spot. They have it at the 7 or the 6. 1st and goal from there. Here's the run by Kiwa. They stack him up near the 5. 2nd down and goal from there. It was actually Shadiak, rather.
Again, Culpeper just got to stiffen up here. Make Fauquier earn this one.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if they can hold him out of here, now it's 2nd down and goal. But you know, Faulquier's going to try to go for it on 4 down. So you're asking a lot right now of your defense to step up and plug those holes.
Deal operates under center. 2nd and goal. Here's the handoff. Kiwa. We'll make it Evan Jackson, rather. And the Blue Devil defense does a good job. Now this is Kiwa. You're going to stop him at about the 4. Now you're going to have 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal. Now watch for the, here's where Fauquier's dangerous. They're going to like try to run deal on that run pass option. Fake it up inside and then try to run to the edge and make a run pass option out of it. Culpeper's got to be aware. Hoffman and McCray have got to really watch the corners.
You mentioned both Holland boys in there. Will Holland, number 66, playing right there in the middle of that defensive line. All right, 3rd and goal now from the 4-yard line. Deal under center. Play action. Here he is. He's going to try to get away from DeJure McCray. McCray says no way. Wraps him up for the loss. And now you've got a call to make here on 4th and goal, Steve. You go for it. Oh, it looks like they're going to bring the field goal team on.
Well, Mark, again, like I said, called it earlier. McCray had to step up big because Deal was going to try to fake it up inside and take a run pass option. That's exactly what he was trying to do. Get around that corner. Now they call down the field goal to make it an 8-point lead here.
Yeah, it's Deal as goes from quarterback to kicker here, and the holder is going to be Evan Jackson. And the line of scrimmage would be the 7. The spot would be the 14. This will be a 24-yard field goal attempt by James Deal with Evan Jackson the holder. There's a snap, the hold to get it down. Here is his kick. It's long enough, and it is no good. How about that, Steve? Blue Devil defense, would you say, can breathe a sigh of relief with this one?
Bend but don't break, Mark. That's what you say right there. Now, can the Blue Devils make Fauquier pay for that missed field goal?
Well, if they had gotten the field goal, it would be 24-16, and the Blue Devils would need a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie it. Instead, a touchdown with or without the extra point would give the Blue Devils a 22-21 lead. So now we look back on it in hindsight, and we say that the two-point tries that the Blue Devils had tonight, 2 for 2, look pretty smart as we sit here at this point.
Because now the ball's on the 25-yard line, 8 minutes to go in the game. Culpeper can put a game-ending drive here if they can hold on to the football and just march on downfield.
All right, here's Crenshaw. He's throwing this one incomplete, intended for Amani Hoffman. We're going to have a flag coming in for it. Looks like defensive interference to me.
Yep.
We'll check and see. Well, actually, Steve, the line of scrimmage was a 20 rather than a 25. But in any event, they tried to get it to Hoffman, who was past the 30. Would have been a first down catch, and it may still be that with a defensive interference call.
Yeah, it'll be interference, so it's a 15-yard mark. So they're going to march it. The ball's 20 should come out to the 35. So we'll see the. Yeah, I'll just see where they mark it.
Well, you are right. It's a 15-yarder. Moves it out to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Blue Devils from that spot with 8:33 to play here in this fourth quarter. And just to remind you, at the intermission, Fauquier led 21-0. Well, the Blue Devils scored 16 unanswered points in the third quarter, and then here in the fourth, the Falcons looked to score their first points but were denied on a missed field goal from 24 yards. And now the Blue Devils throwing long, and almost bringing it in was DeJure McRae, and it looked like he had his hands on it, and then the coverage came over that may have jarred it loose as Khalil Keywall and Evan Jackson combined for the coverage.
He had it for a minute there, Mark. He had the ball in his hands, but just couldn't quite rein it in and bring it in. But, I was just thinking about, I heard one of the great college names, for a college player when I saw Texas play Oklahoma last weekend, the kicker. His name is Cameron Dicker. Dicker the kicker.
You got to be kidding. Riley Harrison straight ahead.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you wouldn't kid about Cameron Dicker.
Yeah.
The kicker is Dicker.
Yeah.
Dicker on for the kick.
Dicker the kicker.
Oh man. Well, I think one of the more curious names I've come across in watching sports or following it over the years is that there was a player at Roanoke Catholic way back in the 70s. His name was George.
George.
So he had 2 first names. And you know that growing up, you had to be ribbed ruthlessly with that. Downfield was the throw. No one there.
Looked like they weren't on the same page. Looks like it's number 8.
Cam Lacey?
Yeah. No, was that Lacey?
It's number 8.
I think
no,
so.
you're right. Ozzie Reindorf.
Yeah. Well,
Lacey's 9.
They weren't on the same page right there on that play. But Culpeper now what is it now? Is it
3rd.
4th down?
No, it's 4th. You're right. Yeah, 4th and 8.
Big play here for the Blue Devils, Mark. They have to go for it. I don't know, but 7:44. I would put this.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to go for it here or not.
And
when you think about what your defense is playing, I mean, up until that last Fauquier drive, they looked pretty good here in this second half.
But Culpeper's going to call timeout to think about it.
All right, we'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. And CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. 7:44 to play here in the fourth quarter. Mark O'Connell, Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk, Nicole Wooten with you tonight. And we got an update on the score courtesy of Billy Mitchell. It's Eastern View 21, King George 7. And that's getting a little closer to what thought that game might be like.
Well, I said 34-14, so.
Yeah, you did, and I said 42-7. Right now, you're looking pretty good. Yeah.
Well, let's see what Culpeper's going to go for here, Mark. Big fourth down play. I think what they're going to try to do, see if they can. Well, they can't, do the dum play or try to drive them off sides. That's not going to help you.
Well, Holland's back there.
Now, will they quick kick it again?
That's what.
Because they got a single safety, number 3 back there.
They're sort of lined up for that play. They don't. They throw it. Hoffman caught it at the 43-yard line. He's going to be shy of a first down, and the Blue Devils will turn it over on downs because of the defensive play made by Fauquier.
I like the play call, Mark, but you got to tell your receivers get to the first down marker.
Yeah.
You can't go to a yard or two in front. I think Hoffman was thinking he could maybe, turn and pick up the first down, but.
Yeah, he had to get to the 40. Was it the 45 for the first down?
Yep.
And he picked up 7 rather than 8.
Yeah, McCray sitting there thought he got there, but he didn't. He's arguing that he was there, but the officials say no, that he was short. Coach Brandon Hughes is really.
Well, gutsy call, right?
But look at the play. It was. He almost got there, but he has to learn to get past the yard marker.
Now it's up to the Blue Devil defense to hold and get that ball back. Here's the ball. Fumble on the play. Let's see who's got it. I think it may have taken a good bounce for this Fauquier player, but maybe not. Well, the Blue Devils have it.
The Blue Devils have it.
And the last man up, Cameron Buchanan, number 53.
He's got a cramp again, but he.
It'll be worth the cramp for that fumble recovery, isn't it? And just like that, the ball goes back to the Blue Devils, Steve.
And well, now what the Blue Devils do, they've got to make Fauquier pay. 7-17. You're down by 5. Put together a ball, quarter-ending, game-ending drive, and use up the clock.
You don't have to hurry. You can take your time and move down the field, use the
right.
clock. Guys like Riley Harrison come to mind.
That's true. Just pound it.
Did you see it?
It just he dropped it. Just missed handoff.
Blue Devils back on offense from their own 47-yard line. Crenshaw steps up and throws. And this one caught at the 31-yard line by DeJure McCray. I'll tell you, between he and Armani Hoffman, they can make some leaping catches, can't
Well,
they?
it's like Coach Ford said half. We need to get the ball into our playmakers' hands, and that's what they're doing right now. JoJo Crenshaw looks like a different quarterback here in the second half.
He really does.
His footwork is getting better. I think Coach Ford got relayed down there to him. Quit dancing around with happy feet. Step into the throw.
He really does look like a different quarterback in the second half. I mean, no question about it. 23-yard reception by McCray. Here's Crenshaw option to Riley Harrison. He'll get to the 30, which is the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
And see, Crenshaw is afraid to tuck it up and take it. He's got to learn to fake that pitch and maybe run it up in there because you're going to get your running back killed. Harrison's going to come back there and say, hey, JoJo, thanks a lot for getting me smashed. But, he's got to learn to fake it because they're not playing the quarterback on the option.
Exactly.
They're playing playing the pitch man.
And if you don't keep him honest on the option, Harrison has no chance.
No chance. And so JoJo's going to have to stick it up in there. I know he doesn't like getting hit, but he's going to have to take one.
2nd and 10. Blue Devils from the Falcon 30-yard line. Back to Harrison on the running game. Harrison gets to the 28. 2-yard gain. That's it. 3rd and 8 coming up.
And I'd be going to your offensive line and say, look, guys, if you look at Fauquier's defensive line, and you look at our offensive line, we outweigh him by 20, 30 pounds a man. Get a hat on somebody, push him out of there, and get see if we can pick up 4 or 5 yards. But the quickness, I am impressed with the Fauquier defense's quickness. Their quickness has bothered the Blue Devils all night long.
All right, 5:40 to play. Clock moving here in the fourth quarter. Blue Devils trail by 5. It's 21-16. They have 3rd and 8. Crenshaw throwing.
Crenshaw throws it right side.
And this one's going to be incomplete. Didn't have quite enough zip on that one because the defender was able to come over and make the play. That was Herschel Rinker. Now 4th down and 6 from the 28.
Yeah, and you're not going to go field goal here, Marcus. That's not going to do you any good. You got to you got to pick up the first down. And again, that ball looked like it slipped out of JoJo's hands. It was kind of wobbly. And again, if he steps into it, he gets more velocity and zip on the ball, and that doesn't allow the defender time to come over and make a play. The other times when he's throwing it up like a big meatball, you're going to have, players, the defenders can come over there and get it.
Here's Crenshaw. Got time. And Holland trying to bring it down, and his numbers' sake on defense, making the play was number 10, Logan Rayleigh, and now the Blue Devils turn it over on down, Steve, and they still have plenty of time, 5:22, but no time to waste.
No time to waste. They need to turn over again, Mark. And again, the offense just didn't produce. They weren't able to, push out and pick up the needed first down yardage.
CCHS varsity cheer team.
So with 5:22 to play, Fauquier comes back on the field with its offensive unit, leading by 5 points, 21-16, and they'll have it at their own 27-yard line. And the carry over the right side gets to the 30.
And Mark, Culpeper's defense got to recognize that Deal is probably not going to put it up in the air unless he has to. You're going to look at the Blue Devils. So you're looking at Fauquier is going to try to put it on the run. It looks like
that was Kiwa, the ball carrier, shaking up on the play.
Yeah, he's hopping off, limping off.
2nd and 7, Falcons. They have it at their own 30-yard line. 5:05 to play here in this fourth quarter. So very important series here for both teams. As the Falcons have a 5-point lead, and the Blue Devils want to give the ball back to their offensive teammates. Here's Deal getting the edge, makes the cut, gets out across the 40. He'll have a Falcon first down as Joseph Holland, and number 8, Ozzie Reindorf combined for the tackle, but not before Deal could get first down yardage.
And Deal's a little guy. He's not a big guy. He's got to be, 5'8", maybe 5'9" at the most, but he can run. And he's got an arm on him, too.
All right, 1st and 10 Falcons from their own 43-yard line. Here is Shadiak. And here is Shadiak in the open field, down the far sidelines. And it looks like he's going to take it to the house from 57 yards.
But it might be called back, Mark. Well, laundry on the field.
Well, that's a good sign for the Blue Devils. There's a penalty flag down because they'll be bringing this one back. Good-looking run by Nick Shadiak. 57 yards in the end zone, but maybe all for naught.
It's going to be a block in the back or hold, yep.
There it is. Blue Devil defense can be thankful for that one. What did we say about Shadiak and his teammate Khalil Kiwa at the intermission?
Well, Mark, they're both quick. I mean, Shadiak runs a 4.640. You saw it right there. There wasn't a Blue Devil that could catch him. He outran the whole defense. I mean, you give him a crease, he's gone. He's a tough runner. So, again, Culpeper dodged a major bullet right there, Mark. And with that holding call, now the ball is all the way brought back. Look where they're going to mark it.
32.
And again, the Blue Devils is going to be 1st and 10, but the Blue Devils now need to stick together right here on defense and see if they can stop, because Fauquier is not going to throw it.
Well, they have the ball marked at the 32, and they've got to get out to the it's 1st and 17, it looks like. Over that right side is the ball carrier. Not much doing there as Shadiak was bottled up there near the line of scrimmage, and that's where they'll bring him down. Well, actually, he has to the 37, so he'll pick up a few yards.
Big number 53 comes limping off. That's Buchanan. 51 coming in to
2nd 17. Here's Deal.
Oh, he's going to
good time. Now he's going to have to step forward, breaks the tackle. He's at the 40. Spins away from another, and he gets out over the 45, out to about the 48-yard line. And this is some tough running by this Falcon quarterback.
And Mark, Deal's a good runner, but you know what his top sport, Riley's getting up a little slow, Riley Harrison. You know what his sport is. You know, you probably called because you called him in the spring, lacrosse.
Lacrosse?
He's a good lacrosse player for Fauquier.
I'm not surprised. I think I've seen some names in this football roster that ring true on the lacrosse team as well.
I know Deal is one of them.
Out to the 47-yard line. It's 3rd down and 7. And the clock is running, and this is crucial for the Blue Devils. We got a penalty flag over there. On the far, you see that along the far sidelines?
Yeah.
Or they picked it up?
They picked
it up.
Okay.
All right. Clock running, 2:55 to play in the fourth. 3rd and 7. Big third down here for this Blue Devil defense. This is Shadyac. Can they tackle him? They do. And it's Riley Harrison making the solo tackle and bringing up a 4th down, and he dropped Shadyac for about a yard loss.
And see, Fauquier is going to have to punt here, Mark. They're not going to go for it here because they want to pin the Blue Devils back, and the Blue Devils call timeout, stop the clock.
Riley Harrison, Steve, just made a crucial play on defense for the Blue Devils.
He sure did. Now, either Fauquier, do you go for it or you punt it? You're 4th and 7. I think you punt it here.
Well, I think you have to play field position and make Culpeper go the distance with a long field.
Now, if you're Culpeper and they're going to punt, you dial up punt block, but you don't. You tell your you tell your players, do not, by any unending circumstance, run into the punter. Go block the football.
I don't know. This is where you and I differ philosophically because you're saying go for the block, and I'm saying set up the return.
Well, yeah, set up the return, but 2 minutes 41, get the block, get a good field position, and go. I don't know.
I'm just afraid of the penalty.
I know.
Yeah, of the roughing.
You don't see too many punt blocks anymore because everyone's afraid of roughing the kicker.
But we saw one. What was it last week at Eastern View? Mm-hmm. They had the first 2 scores were on special teams. One was a punt return, and one was a block punt.
That's right.
Yeah. So, all right. Fauquier lines up to punt this one away. From the 37-yard line is the punt. Let's check the roll. It's going to bounce dead at the 20. So the Blue Devils will have 80 yards to go
because
with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to play.
Nothing against Austin Lentz. I think he's a good runner, but if you're going to want to run it back, don't you want to put your fastest runner back there?
Yep.
Punt returner?
Would that be McCray or Hoffman?
Yep. And so, in course, Fauquier didn't even punt to the returner. They punted it out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said to go for the punt block. But that's me. I'm not a coach.
All right. Well, the coach agreed with me on that time, right?
And you don't have a guy named Dicker the kicker. Oh, me.
What was the?
We haven't done a stump the mark or stump the Steve question.
Stump the T or stump the mark. Yeah. All right. Blue Devils will have to drive 80 yards here. Here's the option. Penalty flag down as Riley Harrison is the ball carrier. Bounces the outside 30, 35, 40. They chase him out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
But that's all coming back, Mark, because it looks like Culpeper started before the ball snaps. Going to be a legal procedure against the Blue Devils.
As they mark it off, we'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136.
Yeah, it's going to be a false start.
It'll push them back 5 yards to the 15, and it'll be 1st and 15 from that spot. Also, this broadcast made possible by Able Heating and Air. Able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. All right, 1st and 15 now for the Blue Devils from their own 15-yard line. 2:25 to play here in the fourth quarter, and they trail by 5 points. It's 21-16. A touchdown will win it for Culpeper, but they've got to drive 85 yards to get there. Here's Crenshaw. Here's Harrison. He juked one defender, but then they tackled him after a gain of only 4 yards. We'll mark it at about the 19, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. The clock is running, too.
Mark, I'm sorry. Crenshaw is just not an option quarterback. You just saw that he kind of pushed it with both hands out there. He's not fooling Fauquier because they know just to play the pitch man, he's not going to run it.
Yeah, there's no reason to key on him there. Right. So 2nd down and 11. All right, now here's Crenshaw. Here comes some pressure. Now he throws it downfield. This one, I was going to say, should have been caught at the 35-yard line. Unable to hold on to it, though, was the intended receiver out there. That's Cam Lacey, isn't it? Number 9?
Is it 9 or 6 or 9? I can't tell.
Here we go.
8. Number 8. We're way off.
Ozzie Reindorf. Yeah. Ozzie Reindorf.
We got to put our old man glasses back on.
Well, now we got a 3rd and 11. And, Steve, this is crucial. And they're in a spot right here where obviously you can ill afford a mistake.
No,
but the clock's running. It's stopped, but you're down to a minute 58. So.
Well, here, Mark, I would concentrate, get the first down.
Mm-hmm.
Get the first down. Don't try to you can't get it all right here. Get the first down, find a play. But you have 16 yards, third down. You're going to have to throw it, and Fauquier knows it.
That's McRae in motion. They fake it to him. Now they throw behind to Holland. He's got it at the 21-yard line.
He gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
But now, what do you do with the Blue Devils? You got to go for it.
Well, I guess you do. 4th and 9. You're down to a minute 34 and counting. You really don't have any choice, do you?
No.
But you've got to get your receivers, like you say, running those routes where they're going to get first down yardage. Crenshaw in trouble. Oh, now he's going to drop it. As he's sacked, the ball is loose. It goes out of bounds, and that might be the ball game right there. As he was looking downfield, I don't think he saw the pressure coming from his blind side.
He did, Mark, and Fauquier dialed up the pressure, and JoJo is not going to outrun anybody right there. And again, it just didn't bode well for the Blue Devils. And now all Fauquier's got to do is kneel on the ball and run the clock out, basically, because Culpeper doesn't have any timeouts.
So with the turnover on downs, the Falcons come back with their offensive unit, and they will have it, looks like at the 11-yard line.
I mean, I just keep thinking, too, what if they had Eric Wilson back for his senior year and he transferred to Highland?
Yeah, what an arm. All right, here's Deal. Takes a knee or a slide. Like you say, they're just going to work the clock. Minute 13 and counting. Here in the 4th, this broadcast made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only Mama Mays. 829-9200. Yeah, so that, Steve, the game came down to that 4th and 9. And Crenshaw unable to create anything. And he got hit blindsided, fumbled the ball. And now the Fauquier Falcons, as you say, take a couple knees and run this one out and get the win here at Broman Field. Looks like it's going to be 21-16. 5-yard penalty against Fauquier is declined.
They declined it, so they're going to start the clock on the snap. So that helped the Blue Devils there a little bit with clock management. But, again, you're just going to see Fauquier take a knee.
Deal under center. Down, and the clock will continue to run. We'll have third down coming up as we approach that 1 minute mark here in the 4th quarter. Steve, if this game ends 21-16, which it likely will, what do you think the turning point here was for the Blue Devils?
It's hard to say, Mark. The interception, I mean, they had their chances. They threw the inability to really control the line of scrimmage in the second half, and their comeback fell just a little bit short.
You know, it's interesting because the Falcons led 21-0 intermission, and the Blue Devils have scored all 16 points here in this second half. But they're going to come up short again, like they did last week against James Wood. Deal takes another knee, and this might be the last one he'll have to take.
And Fauquier's now in their 4th consecutive win, Mark.
Yeah, so as the final seconds tick off here, the final 10, our final score is going to be Fauquier 21, Culpeper 16. And so with the win, the Falcons improved to 4-3 on the season. And that's their second straight win, Steve. They beat Kettle Run last week.
Yep, second straight win, 4th win of the season for them. And we're going to be next week going up to Stevens City and watching the Warriors, another beautiful stadium. Mark will get the broadcast from.
Yeah.
We're going to watch Sarando against Culpeper.
All right. The Blue Devils with a loss fall to 1-6. So it's been tough for them and a tougher road ahead still, as it won't get any easier against Sarando. I want to take this time to say that not only did I enjoy the broadcast, but I enjoyed seeing Peter Brewington again in the press box. And he's very kind and very generous. It's good to see him. It was great to see Coach James Ford and meet his wife tonight, as we had a chance to mic up Coach Ford before the start of the 3rd quarter. Steve, enjoyed calling the game with you, and I think Billy Mitchell may have a
final score. We're trying to get a score here from
update for the Eastern View King George game. But once again, our final score at Broman Field tonight in these two teams is Fauquier 21, Culpeper 16. All right, let's see what we got here as an update. 28-14.
Yep.
Eastern View into the third quarter.
Till Butler.
Till Butler coming on with 160 yards passing in the third quarter, and that information provided courtesy of Billy Mitchell. Okay, Steve, we're going to wrap it up then here at Broman Field. Enjoyed calling the game with you tonight. And so for Johnny Krawchuk, Nicole Wooten, Steve Peacock, I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting Blue Devils football here on the Culpeper Media Network. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time, and we expect to be in Sharando High School next week in Stevens City. Until then, so long, and have a good one.
Good night, everybody.